just this empty, cavernous, dried-out hole.
Oh, man.
Nothing. A void. A vacuum. Oh, here she comes. Yeah, keep walking, Twiggy.
Well, what does the gas look like, though? Is she nice and trim down there?
In the world of radio shock jocks, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony striking again.
I sat with some of the greatest gangsters in the world, John Gotti, Zan Gravano, and I went in there and said, John, you ever with me again, this is over. You hear? Now sit down.
Opie and Anthony.
I was amazed Guns N' Roses starting to blow up, and you didn't have guitars to play because you were pointing them off to get some dope.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the age. Big fan.
Opie and Anthony.
This country went off the cliff, and it's just in free fall now. It's just a sick, it's disgust in my voice you're hearing.
It's time for people to understand these are words. If you don't like them, turn the dial.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning.
Hi.
You sound a little hot.
Hot?
What's that about?
I don't know.
Does it sound weird to you?
A little. Not as weird as it has in the past. Is it buzzy?
Mm-hmm.
Is it buzzy?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
a little hot. Little hot. We'll try to figure it out as we go here. Good morning, it's Opie and Anthony.
Hi.
The O&A virus spreading across America. And everybody wants to be the first caller today. I guess that's something new we started out of nowhere, huh?
It's first caller Thursday.
I don't know.
No.
Not Thursday. All right, let's get this out of the way. Let's say hi to Bobby Big Rigger. Bobby, first call of the day. How are you, sir?
Good morning, gentlemen. I just wanted to call in and say I don't have a life, and I'd like to hear myself on the radio Thursday.
Well, I don't think that one's going to take off, sir.
No.
Although you're a fan of this show, and we love your calls. No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to look good on a T-shirt, so we can't do that one. All right, Bobby.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. Let's say hi to Dave in Connecticut. Dave, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, fellas? How you doing today?
Hey there, Dave.
Kind of just waking up like yourself.
I'm a cop in Norwalk. Yeah, I did just wake up.
I'm a cop.
Napping behind a building.
And what?
You're napping behind a building?
Are you really?
Good.
I was. Yeah. I'm awake in the second caller, I guess.
Yeah, but you're in Connecticut. The hell goes on there? Unless you're in Hartford.
We get quite a few murders here.
Oh, yeah? Where?
Norwalk.
Oh.
Here and there, right?
Yeah.
It's not Philly, though.
No, it's no Philadelphia.
Philly has you beat. So what do? You sleep behind a building for a few hours during your shift?
Of course.
It's Roscoe P. Coltrane.
I like to think that the cops are just working their butts off their entire shift.
No.
I like to think that they might be behind a building taking a snooze.
Taking a little nap? Well, that gets them all ready to go when they have to, jump in action. They're well rested. Love defending the police, no matter what.
I have no problems with the police.
Believe me.
I just like to think that,
They're awake.
They're awake and just fighting crime the entire time they're out there.
Has E-Rock ever looked into a career with the police department?
Yeah, E-Rock, why are you late today?
What happened, E-Rock?
He's late.
We got the call, and we were very concerned that you were late sick.
What's late sick? I
You
never
were
heard
late
of that
sick.
one before.
No.
Is that like when you had the steak fish?
No.
And you ended up late sick?
No.
You actually called up and said you're going to be late sick. I don't really know what that means.
I didn't even realize I typed that, but...
Yeah.
Is Steve here? Steve, did he type in late sick?
Oh, he did.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I did.
Late sick.
So what is late sick?
And is it different from sick late?
No.
All right.
No.
I mean, you could be late because you're sick, but you can't be late sick. I don't really understand what late sick means. Steve?
The text at...
Scroll.
No, I'm not scrolling. Look.
Oh, okay.
The text at 5:28 a.m. reads, Steve, I woke up late sick, too. Didn't realize it. I'm speeding into work.
Late sick.
What?
I thought that was him for a second. Just tagging on the
What kind of sickness do you have there, E-Rock?
Or what's the matter? You need to get your excuses lies in order.
Oh, no.
What kind of sickness do you have?
What do you got?
It's something that I've been fighting for the last 2 weeks.
And don't get mad at us like nothing was done 2 minutes before the show started because you were late sick. So,
speaking of weeks, over the last this is just into me here. Over the past 3 weeks, E-Rock has been an average of 24 minutes late. Is that per day?
I thought we weren't keeping track
per
anymore.
day. Wow.
Why are we keeping track still when I said don't keep track?
Well,
just don't keep track.
It's a hobby, I guess.
With that said,
yeah, it's a great hobby.
That said, E-Rock, things all right? You're waking up hot?
No, I've been having some throat problems where it's like kind of like it's closing.
So why don't you just stay home? You're not doing anyone any good by being late sick. Maybe you should have taken today off.
No.
Tell us ahead of time so we're all set up nice for the radio show.
I couldn't.
Why couldn't you?
Because there's a lot to do today. And I
Like
got
what?
a lot done. I got to get some stuff done for the other side today and for the upcoming vacation.
I don't know whether I want to just lay him down and give him a little medicine, but just repeatedly slap his face. I can't decide.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling bad that he's sick.
Yeah, late sick.
See, the late part, I don't care about. But the sick part, I kind of feel bad. If you were just late, then I'd be throwing things at you. But since you're sick, I'll be nice. Wasn't that Doritos you were eating, was it? I thought I saw you eating Doritos.
That's pretty much all I ate yesterday.
Jesus H. Christ.
What's the matter with you?
You gotta lay off.
Bad for you.
Well, I didn't...
Oh, hold it. We don't know if Doritos are bad. They could be the best food product ever.
They're delicious, but I'm saying when that's all...
I just want to make a point of saying I love Doritos in moderation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. When you say that's all I ate yesterday, that's no veggies.
Right.
Could someone run down the hall and ask Tom if Doritos is a sponsor, so we could
either talk about it in a nice manner,
right,
or maybe discuss how E-Rock shouldn't be eating them.
He'll get making fun of Eric for being late sick. You know, guys, medication, they sponsor the show. You can't make fun of being sick. It's healthy. Little dainty hands flopping out. We get it, puppet hands.
A little gay tie.
Why would you only eat Doritos?
I didn't have... I had a bowl of Cheerios yesterday, and then while I was working at the other place, we had those little bag of Doritos.
Who's we?
It was in the office, so I ate it.
Did anyone share them with
Where's
you?
the typewriter?
They were they were laying.
Okay, so by we you mean you. That's all I'm trying to.
They weren't mine. I had a bag the other day, but those ones weren't mine, and they were just.
So these were stolen Doritos.
Somebody else's Doritos.
And you just couldn't resist. You saw the bag and said, I have no self-control or willpower, and I probably shouldn't be eating these.
I was hungry.
But why didn't you order something out?
I didn't want to. They were right there, and I was like, I didn't want to really eat too much because I wasn't feeling too good.
And they taste good.
They are very tasty.
They're delightful.
Were they Cool Ranch?
Gotta tell you.
They were regular.
The standard ones are really good.
I prefer Cool Ranch.
No.
Oh,
Stop it.
Callers.
Let's say hi to Mongo the trucker. Mongo, what's going on today, buddy?
Hi, guys. I'd like to have a fun fact for you.
All right.
Dogs have almost 17 different voices. Cats have almost 100, and Steve C has 23.
I notice you're doing two themes at once, Fun Fact Thursday and Talk Like Tim Thursday. Very good, Mongo. I picked up on it.
Hey, can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's one other guy that does show recaps. Struff does daily show recaps on FBA.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mongo. By the way, you got to...
That.
What? What happened?
Nothing. What's the matter? I don't plug that site, so I dumped it.
All right. 877-212-0-A. Why? What happened? I don't get what happened.
It's okay. If something happens, sometimes it just happens, and I'll let you know about it. But he gave a little plug. It's a site we all agreed sucks, and it isn't plugged on this program. So I hit the dump button. Is there a problem?
Huh?
Is there a problem?
Obviously not.
Is there? I just want to know.
Obviously no problems whatsoever.
But then you make a face. Let me know if there's a problem that I dump out of...
Explain. I don't know what happened. The guy plugged the website.
Yeah, he plugged a website that we've all talked about, does nothing but bash us personally and the program, and we said how we weren't going to plug it. Why would we use our show to plug a bash site? So when he brought up the name of the site, I leaned over and hit the dump button.
He was saying something positive. That's all I heard.
He said something positive, and then he plugged a site that we don't like.
All right. Moving on with the show, E-Rock. We should talk about the woman that was found dead in front of a refrigerator, E-Rock. It relates to you. What?
Tragedy. That's all you have on that?
That's a tragedy.
That's his big summation. That's a tragedy. Back to you.
That's a tragedy?
A mother and son,
right,
both morbidly obese, found dead in front of an open refrigerator. I could see this is going to be a treat today. This is going to be a real goddamn treat.
I'm trying to find the stupid story.
It's right here, Jimmy.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Oh, the way it's written. Sad way to go. W-E-I-G-H. A morbidly obese woman was found dead in her Staten Island apartment, sprawled in front of an open refrigerator, with the body of her overweight son in the next room. The mom and son, both of who had been sick, are believed to have died of natural causes. Swing and a miss. The decomposed body of Doris and Martin was found in their Silver Lake home. She was dying near an oxygen tank in front of the fridge. I don't know what's wrong with him, though. Maybe I should keep reading.
He had he had heart issues his entire life, and she was taking care of him.
So, how come he died?
Shoveling food into him.
Kind of weird that they would die at the same time, but
yeah,
or within a day or two of each other. But
I wonder who went first. Eric.
You've got no answer on that one.
I thought you really knew something about this. Oh, all right. Well,
I would think the mother.
And the poor boy was left hungry.
Yeah, left hungry. Gnawed on her ankle for a while in front of the open fridge.
All right, she was a former phone. I don't have enough information here. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I probably should have been more prepared. But instead, I'm just kind of going on the fly. And what I'm doing right now is I'm spiraling in a flaming, smoking disaster. Because I just started reading and it's all double-faced typing, and I realized I don't know anything about this. All right, well, 2 fat people dead. God love them both. 1 fat person late sick and 2 fat people dead. I'm going to keep going to that late sick well until it gets the laugh it deserves, and then I'm going to do it some more. It's going to be a...
Let's say hi to Gino in Boston, listening on BCN. Gino, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good.
Hi.
Just calling to say, first-time caller, long-time listener. I miss you guys out here in Boston. It's been a long time since you guys been out here, but
We were there a couple weeks ago.
yeah, I know. But I'm saying on BCN, it's been, I don't know, what, about 10 years since you guys been, on BCN on the air.
Well, no.
So we've been on BCN for 2 years now.
Yeah, we've been on BCN for 2 years. We were on BCN before that, like 2 years. We took 2 years off, then we were on there for a year and a half, and then before that, I guess you're trying to say when we were broadcasting live from up there.
Right, yeah, exactly, right.
Right.
Yeah, but you actually used to be on that alternate station there. I don't even want to say, because that'd be promoting another station
So
on
you
your
can
radio
say it.
show, and I don't want to.
Like it matters.
You get a hold of yourself, sir. It's fine.
Yeah, that WAAF. With that retard.
Oh, we didn't think you were going to say that.
So when you guys going to be out here next? Doing anything with the Toucher and Rich boys or anything like that?
We're supposed to be out there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? What's going on?
I lied.
Ah! No, but
All right.
seriously,
Godspeed,
what
sir. I don't know what he's
What do
talking
you guys?
about.
What do you guys think you're going to be out here next?
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dino.
Jesus.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to Dan in Jersey. What's up, Dan?
Opie, Anthony, Little Jimmy.
Hi.
Hey, I was the first caller that you took for the Fatty Pig Fatty contest.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We were talking about you.
Oh, good. I hope it was all nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're talking about the
Warren.
Jesus thing. And I just want to give you, I know nobody cares. I just wanted to give you the update that, yes, after that phone call, the divorce attorney got the tape, played it in court.
Dan, I have no idea what you're talking
What are you talking about?
We haven't done Fatty Pig Fatty in over a year. We haven't even talked about it in over a year. Basically, that was a contest where we had women come in, and the fattest woman to come through our doors, won $1 a pound. But you started the contest?
No, I was the first caller. You said, hold on, and I had a overweight wife.
Okay.
Talked to me for about 20 minutes.
All right.
Yeah,
How
we'll
much
take a
did she
few
weigh?
calls.
She was at 240 at that point.
Had we named the contest yet or no?
Yeah, you started to.
Okay.
And I was just, I was the first phone call. Hang on, Dan. We'll talk to you first. And now she's divorced. So am I. She got the house. And she's down 100 pounds. So, anybody that thinks your radio program doesn't make a big difference, it sure the hell did in my life.
Oh, okay. So you got Fatty Pig Fatty. You brought in your wife. She used that against you in a divorce case, and now she's got everything.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess I'm the biggest loser.
Good decision making on your part.
I think maybe not. But just want to give you the update, and everybody stay the hell away from the refrigerator if you're going to be, never mind.
How long ago did this call start?
I don't know. It seems like we walked in and it was
I
already
so
going
want
on.
all that time back, and it's gone.
You've robbed me, sir.
You've
I want that
robbed me.
8 minutes back.
All right, listen, between 7 and 7:30, this is what you're listening for.
I didn't realize. Oh.
And when we play that, if you're the 10th caller, you will win $1,000 today. The phone number, 877-212-ONA. We'll get the show started next. It's Opie and Anthony.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Good morning. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The ONA virus spreading across America. The phone number, 877-212-ONA. We got lots to talk about today, that's for sure. Phil Jackson is in a little trouble, which is kind of stupid, but he had to apologize, I guess.
Guy riffed the line. It's like you can't even just riff. He's a sports guy, and he's talking about sports. He riffs a Brokeback Mountain line, and people cry about it.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
And he's got to apologize or something? It's a funny line from what I heard.
Yeah, it was a good one. Got a good laugh, too.
Yeah.
It was a doozy. We actually got the audio of Phil Jackson. This is what he said and got in trouble for.
Yeah, we call this a Brokeback Mountain game because there's so much penetration and kick-outs. So, you know, it's one of those games.
Yeah, basically, the Spurs were playing the Lakers, and they made 13 three-pointers. So they kicked the Lakers' ass from, you know, I was going to say from the three-point range, but basically they kicked their ass, and that's what Phil Jackson had to say about the lopsided victory. Big laugh. Everyone enjoyed it, and then he got in trouble, and the league had to talk to him and stuff.
Well,
it's all stupid.
Well, and the Lakers comment, the remarks are in poor taste. Oh, someone said this.
Poor taste.
And the Lakers have assured us that such remarks will not occur in the future. That's league spokesman Brian McIntyre said.
Speaking of poor taste, he could have made another Brokeback joke. Man. It was an innocent, funny joke.
Yeah, of course.
Based on a movie where if you watch it, it's kind of funny. Come on.
Just another example of the hens.
Yeah. Someone's always got something to say.
Are gay people really offended at that, though? Like, or is that just people thinking for gay people? Like, did gay people really look at each other? I can't believe it.
I don't want them to think there's a lot of blank going on.
Yeah.
Going to say the word, but they would dump out.
That was just completely accurate. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
And then one of the news agencies, of course, they allow you to comment. You, the people now. You know, you read the news story, and then there's a list of people commenting. And one gentleman wrote, hey, league office, do you all wear skirts in there or what? There's nothing wrong with what Phil Jackson said. If you can't laugh at gay sex, what can you laugh at?
But then the rest, they should have highlighted the rest. Quit trying to be the thought police and worry about your crooked referees and fixed games.
Yeah.
That's why so many seats are empty.
There you go. That makes a valid point.
Oh, that was a damn good comment.
Poor taste.
Then there's another one. I don't know if they're going to dump out, but all think all this fuss is a bit queer.
No. Well, it's odd, sure.
Yeah.
Would be a little odd.
You can call gay people queer. They Queer Eye for the Straight Guys about gay guys, and they named it. So it's
yeah, there you go.
It's not considered insulting. It's just silly. When you call a gay guy queer, he's like, you got me.
You know, speaking of basketball and controversy, it was such a small little mention in the sports section today, but it was very, very interesting. We all know what Imus did, right, to the Rutgers women's basketball team. And you fast forward a mere 6 months, and it was written today that they had one of their best recruiting years ever. All these top women's basketball players, high school basketball players, want to play for Rutgers because of the controversy. So Imus technically, in the end, really helped
them out.
It never hurts controversy.
Right.
Never.
I can't find it right now. It was such a small little thing, but maybe I can find it later on in the show. But I thought that was really interesting because you always talk about controversy, and controversy is always good. And in the end, Imus helped the women's basketball team of Rutgers. They had a great team to begin with, but they got like the number 2 player in the country and some other really, really good recruits for this coming, basketball season.
People want to be on the name team, the team people know about. Oof.
They think they're rushing to their aid.
Yeah.
The embattled team, they're rushing to
support them
and be a part of it. But it never hurt. Michael Richards did what he did, and then season 7, what'd they say, sold 75% more than season 6?
Yeah.
No one cares.
Right. It just piques the interest. Hey, someone is saying that Phil Jackson's apology is really, really good that he had last night. We're trying to get that. Yep. Why? Was he making more jokes?
Yeah, I think he does.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
I hope, please.
Because Phil Jackson seems to be the type of guy that doesn't really, back down from that type of thing.
He coached Jordan on one of the best teams. It's like, what does Phil Jackson have to prove?
Right.
Yeah, or apologize for.
Besides the fact that he can't win without Shaq, what does he have to prove? Stupid Kobe, self-centered ass. God, what a brat Kobe is.
Speaking of Jordan, it's funny you should mention.
Oh, yeah, this is terrible.
Michael Jordan agrees to $168 million divorce settlement, largest ever. He's got a new record.
That's a record you don't want to set. That is
He's
a record.
He's paying his ex $168 million in a divorce settlement.
Oh.
Well, Spielberg, they said, had to pay, and this is obviously, it's funny, we're reading this from a British newspaper, because they said 80 million pounds. So they're giving us pounds. And they said it makes high-profile divorces such as Steven Spielberg's £50 million separation from his first wife. Mick Jagger paid $12 million to Jerry Hall. That's not even that bad. That's like $20 million.
Yeah.
But why should he pay this much money to his? Juanita did nothing. Juanita Jordan did nothing.
Apparently, well, they have kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's terrible. And then she could say, well, I did everything else except play basketball. Well, it's still not worth that much money.
I didn't remember her endorsing any shoes either.
No.
Air Juanitas. Put these on, scrub the toilet faster. I don't remember seeing her contribute anything on the court or off the court.
Neil Diamond held the old record.
Did he?
At $150 million. So there you go. Michael Jordan has the brand new record of $168 million he's paying out for his divorce.
How much is he worth? I mean, he's got to be worth $169 million.
Perhaps more than that, Jim.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was actually less than that. And she got everything.
He's got to go to work.
Coaching a high school basketball team.
Oh, God.
Stephen Marbury's shoes because they're cheap. I tie in all my sports references.
That's just amazing. I don't get that whatsoever. I don't get that. I don't know. Whatever.
And stupid Alex Rodriguez now wants to come back to the Yankees. Because I guess nobody bit. He went out and nobody took the bait. And now he wants his $275 million.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll sign him.
And he's insulting all of New Yorkers. It's on the front page of the Daily News. Him and his wife, the wife that he possibly was cheating on with exotic dancers. We love big red heart New York. We love New York. That's why he wants to stay. And they're already all over the news today like, come on. It's really about the money. It's not about you loving New York.
Of course.
And then, of course, the Daily News in parentheses even says, so it's got absolutely nothing to do with the $275 million you're likely to get by staying in New York and playing for the Yankees.
And the advantage to them signing him is that they do think that he's probably going to break the home run record. Or at least he's set to do it as far as being healthy and stuff. And I'd rather see him get it than Bonds. I don't think he's on steroids. And they want that back in New York. He's the only Yankee in God knows how many years with any shot of breaking that record. So I think they maybe want to get that record back.
People love to hate him, but they go to the park to see him.
Yep.
So he's a name. Whether he's worth that much money, guy can't perform in postseason.
He went because he's number 13, and they said he got there because it had his 3 in it like Babe Ruth. And at the Dennis Leary's benefit, Artie Lang had a very funny joke about Alex. He said, well, he's kind of like Babe Ruth. He went to a hospital and promised a sick kid he'd ground out to second. That was really funny.
It's good.
That really pleased me.
Imagine actually doing that. That would be hilarious.
Like, I was there, folks. I saw it. He actually pointed to second base.
Right.
Steal that one.
That's very, very good. Let's go to Andy, the trucker. Andy, what's going on?
Morning, boys. Morning, Jimmy.
Hi, Andy, the
Oi.
trucker.
All right. I just want to suggest that because that funny Jimmy Dean sausage recording yesterday, Coke Logic should totally make an animation of that.
Yeah. Coke Logic is making a name for himself. His animations are up on OandARadio.com. The latest is the chickens in the slaughterhouse. That the big rant that Jimmy did is now animated. It's really, really funny. And that's the only place you could see those animations for now.
Are they that chicken thing that Coke Logic did? Is that like a real cartoon, or it's got like a weird 3D quality to it? It's weird. What do you think? He does it really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know.
It just depends on what he used to make it, but yeah, it's a really good animation.
Well, he's cool either way.
All right, thank you. The interesting thing about Coke Logic and his animations, we're all secretly hoping that he animates one of our bits,
I know you're talking the whole time. You're just thinking,
oh, my God.
That Psycho in Chicago.
That'd make a good animation.
Is he going to animate me this time around? I sure hope so.
I like the fact, though, that on the animation, he's got the all three of us just sitting facing the same direction. It's like watching Curtis and Kuby on Fox. They'd be interviewed. They're both sitting there side by side.
Looking in the same direction like no one would look.
Well, that's what I like. It's just a very awkward look to the whole thing. Us just, side by side in front of microphones, stiff.
Staring straight ahead like we're entertaining it. That's like when we do live appearances, though. It is the kind of the three of us just sitting there.
The ghost. The blue ghost. This is
gas station.
big story today. Apparently in a gas station. Do you see this blue light thing that flies out of this car. Look at this. What is it?
Yeah, this one's a weird one. Usually when they have these kind of strange videos, you can see that it might be a reflection or something. Maybe that's the reflection off the window.
Yeah, it kind of like looks like it's taking certain shapes, though, of something flying.
Yeah, people are going to be discussing this. It's a gas station, I don't know where, and all of a sudden, like, this blue glob, like, comes out of the windshield and then kind of moves around the, around the pumps at a gas station, then flies off.
And it has almost a smoky quality to it, like it's reacting to the wind as it moves, but it's blue.
And it has kind of a shape to it.
Yeah.
Really creepy.
I thought that was like a stunt done by the gas station guys, not.
Well, Steve said it's fake, which means it's real.
Does he think it's fake?
Well, what could it be?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with a ghost.
If it's a ghost, though, it's really
I'm going to say ghost.
That's the best footage we have is a gas station cam. What kind of ghost wants to make itself known at an Exxon at 2 o'clock in the morning? What kind of statement is that about the afterlife?
Maybe it had the munchies and was
had
going
to go
inside for some Doritos.
Grab some Doritos. There it is. See, look how creepy it looks.
Yeah, everyone will be watching this video today. It's pretty much everywhere. It's on every news channel. All right. Hey, yeah, so the Phil Jackson Brokeback Mountain thing, here's his apology from last night.
I wanted to thank all the journalists and TV people who thought it was humorous last night in the moment for their support and laughing. But in retrospect, it wasn't really funny. When you take it out of context, it's not funny. It's poor attempt at humor.
They got to him. They got to him.
No.
You can always tell when
What
they
happened?
get to somebody. This is not Phil Jackson.
Of course not.
They planted something in his brain. This is definitely not Phil.
I wanted to thank all the journalists and TV people who thought it was...
Even, like, slow down his voice and made it somber. All right, I got to make this look good, even though I don't give a crap, and I thought it was funny. I know it was funny. I made a lot of people laugh, but hell, my job's on the line, so I have to apologize now.
He points out the fact that they all laugh, which I kind of like. I'm sorry, despite the monstrous laugh it got.
Yeah, right. Probably someone got to him and said, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. It was humorous last night in the moment for their support and laughing. But in retrospect, it wasn't really funny. When you take it out of context, it's not funny. It's poor attempt at humor, and I deserve to be reprimanded by the NBA. And I said to them that if I've offended any, horses, Texans, cowboys, or gays, I apologize.
Horses.
Did you leave anybody out?
Well, children. I did think children, too. I think that was pretty crass.
All right, very
All
good.
right, he threw something in there.
Phil came back in the end there, thank God.
God. You just have to grovel in this society.
Yeah.
No one ever just says, I was kidding, let it go.
Yeah, leave me alone, man.
I was only kidding.
I was kidding.
I was kidding.
Leave me alone. I'm a stupid basketball coach.
Yeah, it's not like he's a politician or a scientist. His job is to teach other men how to throw a ball through a hoop better.
Right.
I'm not some important CEO. I'm a dumb basketball coach.
Just 6'8" cracker with a great suit.
With really wide, weird shoulders.
My favorite part of that scene in Scarface is like, I was kidding! It's he's holding this awful remote, smoking cigars, watching pelicans. That's what he does. He watches pelicans and talks
It was a flamingo.
Oh, was it?
But he said
he
pelican.
called them pelicans.
Yeah, go pelican.
That's good that he and I have the same bird knowledge.
Hey, Gabe from Texas has a great observation. Gabe, what's up?
Hey, Owen, love the show.
Thank you, Gabe.
Hey, thinking, what if this guy promised to be buried on a hill full of gay people? Would that make everyone accept his apology better?
Yeah, especially if he said he wanted to be buried face down.
Yeah.
Rim shot.
I didn't realize.
That hits me on. That's like watching a beheading video.
Yes.
It does something to you that you can't quite put into
What?
words.
I didn't realize.
Didn't realize that you sound like a complete ass.
That's today's sound, by the way, but it's not time to call.
No.
We'll play it between 7 and 7:30. You just relax out there.
For
Terry,
the big win.
in Missouri, you're on the Opie and Anthony show. What's up?
Hey, fellas, I just want to call and say you guys in the city, I know you guys got it tough because maybe if you just move out to the country a little bit, we still could make fun of blacks and Spanish and Chinese. Everything's so uptight in the city, you can't say anything or make any jokes, get fun of the gay people or anything. I I'll take my country life. You guys keep toughing it out in the city.
Well, you're right, sir, but in the country, you get the same reaction if you make fun of the church or Christ or God or religion. I mean, I'm kind of all four. I don't know why I said four things that are all pretty much the same thing. Or God or the Lord or our Father. But, you know, you can't make fun of that stuff in Bible country. So it's kind of... it's
jokes about everything. Everybody's up for game. The hillbillies.
Yeah, well, guys take it a little too seriously sometimes, though. I've seen some of your handiwork over the years. It's not purely humor.
Well, you know, we do get a little serious about some of the colors.
Oh, jeez.
We're doing all right. So we'll see you guys.
All right, Terry. Thank you.
Bye, Terry.
The gas station Ghost was at Marathon Gas in Parma, Ohio, where regular gas is $3.09.
Ah.
That's according to Steve C.
Somebody said it was a blue plastic bag blowing in the wind.
Impossible. No.
I don't know. And out of focus?
Why would it be out of focus?
I don't know. Let's take a little look. Could it be a blue plastic bag?
No.
Like sitting.
It's on the roof. It's a reflection of...
And then...
What the hell is this?
It's on the windshield of the car, then it just kind of leaps up. But there's not casting a shadow, of course.
By the way, I mean, when you get to work today, you'll see this video. It's everywhere today. It's pretty much your video of the day.
I think
that is not a blue
No, because
plastic
it kind of
bag.
stops there and then it takes off again.
It's on the windshield. It pops up.
That's weird.
I think it was superimposed. I think it was a reflection of something on the windshield, and then someone...
Maybe someone ate too many blueberries and had a gasser. It's just like lurking around the gas station.
Yeah, creepy. Let's go to Matt in Jersey. Hey, Matt, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
I have about the Michael Jordan divorce.
Yeah.
I saw on Yahoo News that it was actually only a third of his money.
It's still a lot of money.
The third is...
He's making a pretty penny. I know a third is a lot, but you know, as far as $168 million only being a third of his money.
Oh, that makes it better. He only lost a third of his fortune, which was $168 million.
Yeah. You know what?
Oh, my God.
When you think in those terms, think, how long did he play? How long did Jordan play?
I don't even know anymore. 12 years somewhere.
12 years?
I mean, he kept coming and going.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
But just picture 4 years of him playing. 4 years of that was for naught, just to give to her. 4 years.
And let's say, Matt, you make like, I don't know, $60,000 a year. You know, that you're willing to give up $20,000?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's all relative. That's just way too much money. All right, thank you, sir. We're going to Bob in Virginia. Bob, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you guys making out? What's up, little Jimmy?
Hey, man.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. Hey, I think that blue thing is the ghost of Smurfette.
A Smurf joke.
You did not do a Smurf joke. Why? Why?
Do you know a few years ago...
All right.
I'm sorry, buddy. Do you know about maybe 10 years ago, whatever, I collected Smurfs?
No, you didn't.
Wait, you just
10 years ago?
Maybe 15, whatever it was.
It better be 25, 30.
Dude, even 15 years ago is bad.
I thought they were going to be worth money.
That means you were 24, like...
Or maybe younger. I might have been a late teenager.
That's like everybody
I was 18 or something. I mean, I was an adult.
You thought you were making an investment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like,
safe to say you were pushing 20?
Oh, yeah, I was.
See, this day and age, it's not worth collecting anything.
I know.
It was worth collecting stuff when there wasn't a collector's market out there.
They try to get you. The last real big thing was on the Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies. We're selling Beanie Babies. And everyone thought they were going to make a fortune on these things. Piggly Wiggly. They're only making 2 of them. And then everyone had a Piggly Wiggly. And now, do you hear about Beanie Babies? Do you see them advertised that they're going to rake in all kinds of money from selling them? No. People are stuck with these things in boxes in their closets and full of mildew.
Yeah, there was a time collecting baseball cards. It was a great investment. We collected baseball cards growing up. We have complete sets for like 10, 15 straight years. And then you look them up, they're not even worth that much.
Nothing. Yeah, you'd think, like, you see a pretty big star, baseball star from years past, and you look it up going, wow, that ought to be a good one. $4. Jeez.
Do you know I collected one set of baseball cards completely in my life? It was the 1979 Top set, which I have in completion. But I bought it like in packs, and the card that I could not get, I needed one card for months, was Alan Bannister, the Chicago White Sox.
Not Alan Bannister.
Could not get Alan Bannister for 79.
To open up the little pack and go through them going, come on, where's my Alan Bannister?
So you're one card short?
No, my friend Neil Grant, I think I got it from me. It was just a nobody. Guy was a nobody player. He was just an average player.
Son, I'm looking for a Neil Grant card.
Yeah, Alan, it's weird. But now that they're worth nothing because everybody collects them, they have all these Don Russ specials, and they're worth nothing.
Right. Well, you got that.
The phone lines are going berserk.
Are they?
Are they really? Actually, they are today. A lot of phone calls going in. Well, that one baseball card's worth a lot of money, and they sell it.
Honus Wagner.
Yeah, the Honus thing. But
oh, yeah,
millions.
that's like the biggie.
Yes, because, again, he wanted his card taken off the market because they were putting cigarette packs, and he didn't want kids buying tobacco to get his card.
And how long ago was that? Like what year?
87. No, it was
87.
Oh, swim walk on the Improv. No, it was probably 1912, 1915.
I would go with 1912, Jimmy. That sounds about right.
Or 1911. Yeah, it's right around there.
Yeah.
But there's other big ones. I mean, Mantle's rookie cards are expensive. Obviously, Babe Ruth cards are very expensive. But Honus Wagner.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pie Traynor is worth a lot of money. But that's the big one. That's the one like Wayne Gretzky owns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he does?
Yeah, he co-owns it with the owner of a team, actually.
He co-owns a baseball card.
Well, they found one recently.
There it is. Look at that dopey face.
And every
Who
time,
would think?
And every time they find another one of these, everyone's investment goes way down.
Well, they have to think, is it real or is it not real? But occasionally one pops up. I mean, in an attic somewhere. If you're old and you still let someone take your baseball cards out of your attic, you should be shot.
Someone out there has this in their attic and has no idea.
Someone
Still.
has this in perfect condition.
Yeah.
It's
got to be more. A fortune.
Because how many were? I know there weren't a lot printed, like you said, but there was still enough.
Oh yeah, there's enough. They exist, and the ones that are in existence now, like you can see it. It's a painting card. It's not even a photo, obviously. It's just a guy with like a corny hairdo and a big collared Pittsburgh Pirates shirt.
You call that a corny hairdo?
It's awful. It looks like a school picture. He does not look like a ball player at all.
How do they play with the collar up so high?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I don't know. They didn't have electricity.
Choking.
All day games, they just sucked back then. How awful. They'd be finished by 5.
Yeah, heavy cotton with collars, and they're playing during the day. What was wrong with our ancestors? They couldn't figure it out.
No, they were just idiots.
Cut off the sleeves, you idiot.
Yeah, cool
And
off.
get rid of the stupid collar and unbutton it a couple things. Who cares if it doesn't look proper? At least you'll be cool.
I wish I was worth Bill Gates' money. This is what I would do with it. I wouldn't cure cancer. I'd buy a Honus Wagner card and then eat it on the news.
On the news.
How funny would that be?
Just eat it.
And you would just get so much coverage. And here he is, Jimmy Norton.
Speaking of our ancestors, even worse than this is you see the old photos of the women going to the beaches in full dresses and floppy hats. It's like, what are you thinking?
With their umbrellas. And, the bathing suits that were the striped ones that just came down to their wrists and their ankles. And they had the frilly thing, because God forbid you see any camel toe back then. Would just freak the gents out. Their little curly mustaches would go boing and stick straight out.
God forbid.
As they were lifting those big round weights on the beach.
They couldn't even figure out how to make the weights more convenient to lift. God, our ancestors suck.
Yeah, they really were dopes.
We should really get into that after the break.
It's like, can I change the weight on this? No. It says 50 pounds on each one of those big round things that aren't removable from the bar.
Just solid steel.
Yeah.
2 circular solid steel things with a bar in between them. Now lift it.
And then you see footage of sporting events and everyone went to the game in full suits and ties and hats. It's like, ugh.
It was
why?
a day out with the family.
So dumb.
Yeah.
There's other examples. We'll get into that after the break. All right. Don't forget, between 7 and 7:30, we got another $1,000 to give away. At this point, I hope you know what the sound is you're listening for because we can't play it
You
yet.
better.
All right. We'll be back. Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
It's Opie and Anthony.
Hola.
We got Sammy in Easton. What's up, Sammy? Hey, Sammy.
Hey,
he finally got the exclusive that you guys always wanted. I know what the ghost is in the video.
Okay.
You know what the video ghost is? That blue thing?
Yeah, I know what it is. The blue thing is the ghost of Phone Call Thursday. He came in and it came back as a ghost.
It's angry that we've let it go.
So we better just bring back Phone Call Thursday.
Please, no. I'd rather have ghosts.
All right, thank you, Sammy. We got Marcy in upstate New York. Marcy, what's up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
How are you? I want to thank you guys. I'm a teacher. You make me laugh every day on my way into work. I appreciate it.
Well, hey, you do an important job, Mars.
Thanks. I teach special ed in junior high too. It's interesting.
They're all 40.
I wanted to comment on the apologies.
Okay.
What comes next, guys? The apologies don't mean anything anymore. What are they going to make people do next? You know, what are they going to make people do?
Yeah, a forced apology isn't an apology. No. It's just this mandatory thing. Yeah.
Well, every celebrity has.
Make kids apologize. You know.
Every celebrity has.
Sorry, I was talking over you.
Perfect timing. Jesus Christ.
It's like there's just a pause. He'll start talking, and then she's like, "Oh, more time for me to talk," and she jumps in.
It's like those first broadcasts from Baghdad where they couldn't figure out the delay.
Yeah.
They were constantly stepping on each other.
You might be better at being a teacher than a phone call to define Opie and Anthony show.
Okay.
But we love you just the same. Thank you, Marcy.
Thank you.
Basically, she wants to say all celebrities have to apologize these days.
And it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Becomes, yeah.
Who does it?
It becomes just nothing. If you have to apologize each time, the apology then becomes nothing.
Who didn't apologize? Ann Coulter. As much as I think she can be an abrasive ass.
Oh, that Greyhound-looking.
Oh, she's great, though. She's just a skinny. She looks like every girl that has sex with you for amphetamines or crank. That's the beauty of it. But she doesn't apologize. I love it.
But she has nothing to lose because she's on those shows to be a jerk to begin with. So she's in a really good position.
She is, yeah.
She's one of the few people that don't have to apologize because they want that type of thing on TV.
But, I mean, she goes even beyond, like, being a pundit who says fiery things.
Right.
Like, I mean, because Savage had a radio show, too. So, of course, San Francisco. What they do? They, what's the word where they vote on saying something bad about you? Not...
vote on...
like
the city of condemned what he said or something
Yeah.
like that, just because he said some stuff about gays. It wasn't.
Yeah, and he had he didn't apologize though, did he?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah, he's not the type that would.
Big Lucky Louie fan, I hear. Good boy, that Mike Savage.
There you go. Hey, we're trying to hunt down a story. I don't know if this guy is pulling our leg, whatever. But from his cell phone, he writes, "Do you guys have the story about Rent-A-Santa?" Oh, we do have it. This is real? I thought this guy was making something up.
Look at this cute girl that just brought the story in for us.
Boy.
Oh, it's Travis.
Well, basically, this guy in his feedback, I would love to give you credit, but you didn't leave your name. There's a story out about Rent-A-Santas being told to say ha, ha, ha instead of ho, ho, ho because of Imus.
Stop it.
Come on.
There is no way in hell.
This isn't Tuesday. Linger longer. He is an unlikely revolutionary, but this Christmas, Santa is a rebel with a clause.
Ugh.
I didn't realize. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, that leads me to believe this story is true because no one making up a story could write that badly, except for real news people.
Well, he is having the last laugh on political correctness, and it's a great big fat belly laugh. Santa's across Sydney. Oh, this is Sydney, Australia? This isn't, like, they're barely part of the world.
It's an American news.
What?
I'm sorry, we're both like...
No, it's Sydney. That's like living on another planet. It's not part of the world. I want to officially make Australia not part of the world.
Well, it's not part of the winter world, at least. It's hot.
Right.
He said it's all red. Jim Jeffries yesterday said it's all red clay.
Except when it's summer here, then it's cold there.
Yeah, any place.
No. Yes, it's winter when it's summer
they
here.
Get snow in Australia?
Yes.
Yes. Any place that celebrates Christmas in warm weather, I don't acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I know we have some fans in some warm areas, but that's just dumb. For Christmas, you should just come up north and find a relative.
Absolutely. If it's not snow, if it's not at least freezing on Christmas. You suck.
Or at least have the potential to be cold.
Yes.
Because we haven't had a nice White Christmas in a long time up here. But basically, it's all right. Santas across Sydney are rebelling against attempts to ban their traditional greeting of ho, ho, ho in favor of ha, ha, ha.
That's great. Sounds like a retard now. Ha, ha, ha. How great is it? Some special ed kid comes up. I want to. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, stop laughing at me.
Yeah, the parents are like, why are you laughing at my special kid? Recruitment firm Westoff, which supplies hundreds of Santas across the country, has told its trainees that the ho, ho, ho phrase could frighten children and could even be derogatory toward women. 2 Santas hopefuls reportedly quit the course because of the hullabaloo of the ho, ho, ho. One would be, Santa has told the Daily Telegraph, he was taught not to use ho, ho, ho because it was too close to the American slang for prostitute. He also quit. Give me a break, Julie Gale, who runs the campaign against sexualizing children called Kids Free to be Kids Said. We are talking about little kids who do not understand that ho, ho, ho has any other connotation, and nor should they. Leave Santa alone.
I wish them alone. How great would it be if they banned Santa? For some reason, he did something politically offensive. We just decided it was time to no longer have him around.
Yes, he's a danger to the children.
He's just a creep.
They have a problem with the ho ho ho, but they have no problem with the fact that he's an imaginary thing that celebrates the birth of Jesus.
Like,
there's no tie-in to Jesus being born and Santa.
How dumb is this?
He's basically a stupid cat burglar who leaves gifts instead of stealing them.
Right.
He's a creepy man who just comes into the place and he kind of just he does little finger rubs across your belly while you're sleeping, and he eats a piece of your cookie and then he leaves and goes right next door. Why do you have a sled, you fat pig? You're going next door.
How about you work off a few pounds? How about you park the sleigh at the end of the street and then and walk it?
Just the idea that how stupid are kids? Like reindeer, there's 8 of them with a sled. How big is a roof that they're going to get a running start? Don't those little fruits know anything about aerodynamics?
Nothing.
Ugh, fat pig, get a truck.
And for all the kids out there, to prove there's no Santa, Christmas morning, look up on the roof and you'll see there's no tracks on your roof.
Absolutely not.
Whatsoever.
Stay up all night. One night. Any kid could do that. And you'll see nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Little dose of reality there, kids.
What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy, what's up?
Jimmy. Something struck a nerve.
Are you reading the comics again?
That's Marmaduke.
Oh, Marmaduke.
That Marmaduke.
What page is it on, Jimmy?
He's incorrigible.
It's page, I don't even know, 44 of the Daily News. It's Marmaduke, and there's the doghouse, and you see Marmaduke's butt and tail sticking out
of the doghouse.
Yeah, of course.
Because you laugh through doghouse. Just want to make it clear.
And there's like a little thing on the roof of the doghouse with smoke coming out of it, right? And there's a bunch of stuff piled up on each side of the doghouse. So there's 2 people looking at the dog and the. That they look at the doghouse and the one goes, he likes the smell of wood-burning stove. Wait, he likes the smell of a wood-burning stove, but he really likes toasted marshmallow. The dog.
Yeah. I don't really get it.
It's just smoking stuff. Marmaduke.
You should go right above that. The Lockhorns are terrific, too, while you're on this subject there, Jimmy.
Well, if this is all the Lockhorns.
Yeah.
Oh, married people probably relate to this one pretty good, right?
It's a doozy.
It's Leroy and his guy friend are standing there in front of a Friedman Jewelers. So it's going to be a problem. And the 2 wives are talking. And Mrs. Lockhorn says to the other lady, I didn't even read it yet. I'm just looking at the picture. She says, Leroy's so cheap, he still has the first dollar he ever owned. I guess he never spent it, folks.
But that's impossible to have the first dollar yet.
Of course.
You know how cheap you have to be to have that happen, boy.
Hasn't the day of the comic just kind of passed?
Oh.
Except for Jimmy. Jimmy really does seem to enjoy.
Smarter than me. He's 3 years old. He reads the funny papers.
The funny papers. Go. He also sprays DDT in Grandpa's face and makes him fall down in the tomatoes.
That's right. While he's putting orange in his mouth to entertain you. Grandpa knocks over the tomato plants as he's dying.
Stop! You're spilling it into my lungs. Dumb little Anthony.
Let's say hi to Brian in Massachusetts, listening on WBCN, the home of Toucher and Rich. Brian, what's going on?
Hello.
Hello. You won $1,000. Another win for Boston.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Brian.
Thanks so much.
Boston cleaning up.
We tried to trick you guys today. We went very early with the contest, but you picked up on it, huh?
Heard it all the way in, got to work and called.
You know what else was tricky about this one? It's a popular sound clip that we're using right now.
Yep.
You know, because we just started using it. So it slipped in there, and I didn't even notice. I just thought it was being played.
So did I, but I got $1,000.
Congrats.
Can you do me a favor? Take some of that money, just a little bit of it, and get a few 6-packs for Toucher.
Will do.
All right? Just
He'll
send
need a case or two.
Just go...
6-packs.
Brian, just go, or a case, whatever, yeah. Brian, buy Toucher a case of beer, say, I won $1,000 on Opie and Anthony, and I want to give you this little present.
Will do.
Just a case, that's all.
Just to get him through the day.
That'll clear up his hangover.
A little gesture. Just send a case of beer to Toucher from Toucher and Rich today.
Warm Meisterbrow, that's his favorite.
Oh, God. That's a master's brew, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we start a beer drive for Toucher?
Will do.
It is, Thanksgiving right around the corner. We got to do something nice. Maybe a beer drive for Toucher.
Drives like Walter Matthau in the original Bad News Bears. He's got an open one between his legs.
Brian, you're going to start, right? You're going to give him a case of beer. And
I will do.
Maybe some other listeners, they're driving by BCN. Maybe you can leave some beer with a little note.
He seems to enjoy it.
This is for you, Toucher.
Awesome.
All right. Congratulations on winning that $1,000.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Besides being a raging alcoholic, he also does a fine radio show. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
He does enjoy his drink.
I was surprised how he was a good interviewer when I did the show. Like, he knew what was going on. Because you walk in and you're like, this man has no knowledge of who I am or what I'm doing here. He's just a guy that sat down.
Yeah.
And, he was right on top of everything. All unshaven.
Yeah, he's,
I think he grows that in an afternoon, too.
Yeah, he woke
He's
up.
one of those guys that grows the 5 o'clock shadow within like 3 hours. Ooh, heartburn, Jimmy?
No, I can't do that stupid funny paper bit because it always tickles my throat.
It's very difficult.
But it's not a bit.
Sure it is. When I read the funny papers, I start laughing.
Funny papers.
That's not a bit.
I can't. No, but the bit is I know I can't read the funny papers on the air. I'm going to get distracted with laughter and throat problems.
And throat problems.
No, the bit is not laughing at the funny. The bit is the idea that I know to avoid those. It's actually marked pages 44 to 47. Take them out of my paper during show hours, folks. I can't handle it.
You're so distracted at the comedy on there.
Oh, my God. Kathy's a good one, too. I love
Oh,
Kathy.
Kathy. What's going to happen next? She's going to call her mom. That's what I like.
Did Brenda Starr
talks to her mom about how bad things are going in her life?
Did Brenda Starr ever get that big promotion? I've been waiting for years to find out how the Brenda Starr ends. I think they finally got rid of Brenda Starr, huh?
Did they kill her off?
Yeah, well, Blondie's still alive and well, and Beetle Bailey's still alive and well.
How is Beetle Bailey still alive
I'm
in the
sure-
comics?
Here's the thing. Here's Beetle Bailey, and this is I can't do the laugh because I've read it so many times. Beetle Bailey, but this is what they expect to be funny. It's 2 panels. Beetle is sitting there, and this fat sergeant comes in and goes, "You shouldn't be inside on a day like this. Get out in the fresh air." So Beetle is now in the next panel walking with garbage and dumping it into a big thing with garbage written on it. This is Sarge's idea of, and in quotes, fresh air. And I'm like, why would you waste newspaper space with that garbage, that crap?
Drivel.
Who laughs at that? Besides me, obviously.
Waste of ink.
Ooh, Sudoku!
Oh, it's all the rage.
All I do is I just throw numbers in, and then I complete the puzzle.
You just randomly put numbers in?
Yeah, watch. I'll
And
do the first one.
Because who's checking?
2, I'll put an 8 over here. I'll put a 6 over here. What am I missing? 1, 2, 3, and a 3 over there. Done. Sudoku.
There. And no one's going to check. So it looks like you did it.
In case you thought that was a fluke, this one over here, I'm going to go 7 over here, a 5 over here, 3, 4, 1. Record time. Sudoku.
Is that the customary salute once you're done?
See,
that's finished.
That's just really easy because you just have to put numbers in the boxes. That's all. Oh, all right. Bronx Johnny.
Hey, what up, folks?
Oh.
The hell are you doing calling our show?
I'm listening. I love listening to the show, man. I was going to call for $1,000, but I was thinking an idea for that thing you guys got with Boss and Bob Kelly coming up. Y'all should have him do like one quick batch of Sudoku on there.
Sudoku?
Yeah.
Yeah, with 4 boxes. Just 4 boxes.
Watch Rich's head explode.
Oh, by the way, I saw Bob last night at the Comedy Cellar. Now that
Stupid Bob?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, they want me to have a dumb off. And I had to act like I really wasn't that big a part of it. I'm like, yeah, they thought it'd be a good idea.
You had to act like, so you sold us out?
Oh, in a second. I'm like, yeah, you know, Bob, how the guys are. And he's like, yeah, I know I'm dumb. I embrace my dumbness, but he's kind of like not wanting to. He resents Voss for lumping him in.
So wouldn't he want to beat Voss in a dumb off?
Oh, yeah, of course.
When's the dumb off going down? Wednesday, definitely?
Yeah.
The day before Thanksgiving? That's perfect.
Yeah, because it's not the winner, the one that gets the highest score, does well that anyone's going to remember.
Right.
It's going to be Rich Voss.
All right, so we'll do the dumb off next Wednesday. Rich Voss, Bob Kelly, and Francine, right? Mm-hmm. And basically we're using 5th grade questions again?
Yep.
All right.
So, Johnny, you doing all right?
Francine factor, mate.
Hey, boss, I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, you're chilling?
Yeah, you guys rock.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bronx Johnny.
Nobody, man.
Bronx Johnny's all street.
You're coming back to our show, Bronx Johnny. I made a huge
That'd be
mistake
cool.
with you.
I like Bronx Johnny.
All right. All right, thank you, sir.
And, yeah, you're right. Let's look at my text from my friend Chuck Liddell. All right.
Oh.
What is Chuck saying?
Chuck Liddell texts you?
Why would he?
Because he's Chuck Liddell?
Well, just, men like, he'll ask me, like, should I throw the overhand? I'm like, yeah. It was,
Sure.
I didn't know who it was, actually. It was like, bro, just watched your HBO special, effing hilarious. So I wrote back, who is this? And he just wrote Chuck Liddell.
You wrote, who is this, back to him?
I didn't have his name in my phone under that number.
Did you have his number?
I do now.
Oh, well, of course you do.
Did you hear me just try to act like I didn't have his name and I threw it under this number?
Yeah.
I just had a 0. If Chuck Liddell was an operator, I could call him whenever I wanted.
You had nothing.
He's training for a fight in December, so I don't know if I'll be seeing him anytime soon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So why don't we have him call the show?
I'd love to. He's in California, I'm thinking.
Did he just text you, though?
Oh, no. It's from last night.
Oh, that
He just saves it.
I'm just thinking
No, I'll get rid of it. Other celebrity friends.
want to make sure a few people see that you got that text, right?
You know how many times I've opened this? What does Chuck Liddell want?
Right, enough with Chuck Liddell.
Just whoever happens to overhear it. That's what I do if people bully me. I just hold up the text, look who I know.
He'll come and beat you up.
No, then I realize it's Tito Ortiz, and he punches me in the mouth through my phone.
Through your phone.
He punches my iPhone into my teeth.
And it gets better reception.
Hey, there are too many fake videos on the old internet. There's one that's getting a lot of play. It's a girl. She's stripping in front of a webcam, which is very nice. That alone is nice, of course. But then she's trying to pull the gag that she got caught. This is one of those things that a lot of teenage girls are doing, hoping that they become the next YouTube star. Here's the audio right here. This is so freaking fake. I get so mad when I see people viewing these videos that are so fake. A video like this should get a couple thousand views tops, not hundreds of thousands of views, because people are convinced that the father actually walked in on this and this is real.
I can kind of see why it's getting views. Yeah, that's fake.
See, it's so fake.
It's good acting.
And then
what does he throw around the room?
You see that? Like, you never see the girl's face or the father's face, and he's using a lot of hand gestures because he knows his face isn't on camera. And she's out of frame, and then she goes flying across the screen. It's like, it's so. Here's the audio of it.
Sarah, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? What is this? The phone in your butt. That's fun. You think this is any way a girl should be behaving? Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Is this
thing on?
And
Hello? Hello?
and people are buying this as real. Stop being so so gullible out there.
Steve C says it's real.
No.
So it means it's fake.
When he said, "What are you doing?" she should have said, "What you ought to be doing." I'm taking an acting class.
Right.
That was horrendous. And he gave too much information. Is this the way a girl should be behaving? As I'm your father. We get it.
As I'm your father.
Rachel, you're nude.
It's like in sitcoms when they do that thing where they have to give you information.
Yeah.
So they talk to the audience through the other person in the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Like, I got to go see Mr. Johnson, our boss. Yeah, that's natural speech.
You'd never say that.
Of course
because
not.
of course he knows Mr. Johnson's the boss.
Yes, I can't believe I have to go home and call Ethel, my wife of 20 years that you know.
By the way, not complaining about the tiny little Catholic schoolgirl skirt that she's got on.
No, the beginning of the video rules.
She has a terrific hiney, and you get to see a shot of her panties, a little oopsie going on before the father comes in and ruins it with his awful act.
Fake father.
Jay, Big Cat, Indiana.
I'm outraged.
What's up?
Hey, what happened with Bronx Johnny? He forgot to plug Ron Fez, noon to 3.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's going to get fired for that.
With him?
Well, Bronx Johnny has said on many
forgets every
occasions
time.
he doesn't care about the Ron and Fez show, and they should be plugging him. That's according to him.
You know what's funny, though?
True.
Bronx Johnny felt the panic, though, because on instant feedback, it came in about a minute ago. Forgot to say on the air, Ron and Fez, noon to 3. Even he realized, oh, crap, I'm in trouble.
He's always too late.
So that's a fake video that's getting a lot of play today. This is a real video. That is your video of the day. And you don't even have to go to YouTube or Break.com for this one. It's on every news channel. The guy's fighting in the middle of the highway.
Yep.
Make sure you take a peek at this one sometime today.
This looks like a stunt from a movie.
This is a 3 or 4 lane highway. The guys are on the median, the HOV or whatever you would call it in your city. And they're fighting, and then they start fighting across 3 lanes of traffic.
They go all the way to the other side with cars just speeding around them, jamming on the brakes.
Yeah, here's the story.
2 men are facing charges after getting into a fight on the freeway, but this wasn't a case of road rage. The 2 men were arguing, and they weren't in cars. They were standing in the middle of a highway in Arizona. A traffic camera caught the brawl on tape, and you can see it first began on the shoulder, but quickly spilled into the center lanes. Cars had to slam on their brakes to avoid hitting the pair. Both were arrested on assault charges.
Too bad this is radio, because the video I would love to show everybody. It's just amazing. I think we'll have the video up on ONDARadio.com later on today during the Steven's show rundowns.
And supposedly they were lovers.
What?
That's what I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how do they get?
It was a lover's spat.
How did they get on the highway? Like, I'm assuming they were driving. They pulled over, but where did they pull over? I don't see a car in the video.
I know, because they were in the middle
of the
long
shot too.
They were in the middle of the road. They weren't in the right lane.
It says the men got into a fight at a nearby mall, and one of them carrying a knife threatened to commit suicide. He rushed across the traffic late Tuesday afternoon while the other man was trying to subdue him. So it probably was a lover's quarrel.
Lover's spat.
And I guess maybe their car was at the mall. Who knows?
And they just rolled out across the street.
Yeah, who knows? I would love to know what they were in the mall buying.
The reason this makes clip of the day is they stop traffic, but both of them come so close to getting clipped, crossing the last lane, the right lane. Car's just speeding up, doesn't see them.
Yeah.
And they stumble onto like the dotted line and come really close to getting slammed.
Yeah.
Which would have been great.
Why would you fight on a highway? Can't you just take it to the shoulder?
Well, they almost got rear-ended, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow.
Don't forget, though, all the videos we talk about on the show, we throw up on ONDARadio.com later on in the day. So there you go. All right, what's up?
Just,
Your stupid Cowboys?
Nah, it's Moose, Daryl Johnston, Moose Johnston.
Moose.
And he was a very good player. And this is just a weird, I think I know somebody who used to know him. He used to be married to him.
You think?
Yeah, his ex-wife.
His ex-wife?
How do you know his ex-wife?
She used to live in my building, I think.
Why are you making that?
I would say his ex-wife was probably definitely married to him.
Yeah. I mean, she claimed to be his ex-wife. I don't know if she was or not.
All right.
She's very pretty, though.
Let's say hi to Karen in Buffalo. Karen, what's up?
Karen?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Calling from the Edge, the home of Shred and Reagan.
Yep.
We got to start some kind of drive for those guys as well. We got beer for Toucher and Rich, and we got to come up with something for Shred and Reagan.
Yeah.
For this fine Thanksgiving. That's
They're
almost
good
upon
eggs.
us. Yes.
Cool.
What should we send Shred and Reagan? I know the listeners will just stop by the Edge with something.
I don't know what they like. I mean, we know Toucher and Rich, what they like. I don't know what
Toucher and
Shred
Rich definitely like the beer.
Does Rich like the beer not as much as Toucher? I know that. No one likes beer as much as Toucher. But
I don't know.
What does Rich like?
Here's the deal. When you got Zeppelin and Def Leppard playing
Yeah.
on the same bill, you don't even notice Def Leppard. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
so if Rich is, drinking, who would know?
Yeah, who wouldn't even notice?
It's all about Toucher and his alcoholism.
It's all relative.
So we got to figure out what Shred and Reagan want. And then we want our listeners to just drop it off on the stoop of the
there a
radio station.
stoop? A stoop.
Right on the stoop. This is for Shred and Reagan. Karen, what do you got?
What do I got about what?
You're calling a radio
yeah.
show. Like, see, if I was calling you, I would probably have a reason why I was calling you.
Like any time you make a phone call to someone, you're usually calling for a reason.
Yeah.
No, I heard the sound. That's why.
After we gave away the $1,000?
Pardon?
We already gave away the $1,000.
No, you didn't.
We just talked to the winner
Oh, my
5 minutes
God.
ago.
Oh, I was on my phone with somebody, so I had the station off for like 10 minutes.
And for the people that are thinking that we might have gave away an extra $1,000 today, oh no, this is where my brains come into play. I played this clip. A little different because I don't know what the rules
tad.
are. I don't know what the rules are. I was ready to play the sound again, and then I'm like, I think I might have to pay the $1,000 if I do that. Karen, no, you'll have another chance tomorrow, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Speaking of which, we got to come up with a sound for tomorrow. I don't have any. We'll figure it out, and we'll play it for you after the break. So you sit through the break, you find out what the sound is for tomorrow, and then you have a chance to win $1,000. That's what we do.
Right.
On the way, we got Jim Jeffries. We had so much fun with the guy. We said, you know what? You just got to come back today. He's a really funny comedian from Australia, but he mostly works in London, and he's just a dirty, dirty boy and a very, very funny guy. And also Louis C.K. as well. Very
Is
funny,
Louis here?
Of course, yes. And he's,
okay.
I think he's playing, on Long Island, and we got some tickets to give away to that show?
Westbury Music Fair, which is North Fork now, but it's the old Westbury Music Fair, same place.
So we got Louis C.K., we got Jim Jeffries, and then Sam just handed me the next YouTube phenomenon. Is this the next Lonely Girl 15 that I hold in my hand?
Ooh.
Some girl that sings Backstreet's, Everybody's Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys.
Ew.
But there's a little problem with Tina.
The next YouTube
Oh,
is
no.
E-Rock and Tim docking.
A little problem with Tina.
Oh, what's wrong with
No.
Tina?
Well,
What's
you're gonna-
wrong with the dear
no.
God lover?
You're going to have to wait to find out.
Oh, no.
But first, Sam in Massachusetts. Sam, what's up?
Hi.
Hey?
Got my camera.
I heard the sound.
Oh.
What sound?
The sound.
You
Yeah, supposed to be playing this morning.
But I just explained.
It was
Wait.
just
Wait, come on. Sam, are you kidding? Please just
Come
tell me you're
on.
kidding and you're just trying to make a bit.
We're
What?
on delay here in Boston.
No, we're not on that long of a delay.
No.
It is. It's like
Not only did we play the sound, this is what happened.
Like
This is
20
what
minutes
happened,
ago.
Sam. We played the sound. We took the phone call of the winner, which was from your area, by the way.
Nice.
And then we played a sound that was similar, and that made Karen call, and we told Karen that we gave away the $1,000, and the sound that we played wasn't the actual sound.
No.
And then out of nowhere, you call, all confused.
Awesome. Just hang up now.
You want to say hi to anybody while you're on the line?
No, that's all right.
Nah.
All right. Why don't we...
I like how he thought it was awesome, though, that the prize went to somebody in his area.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Kenny,
I missed it, but...
Kenny in New Jersey.
Yes, I did hear the sound.
Kenny, are you kidding?
The reality is, I was eating some taffy yesterday, and
Yeah.
I pulled 2 teeth out, and I need $1,000 to get these things repaired.
Why are you eating taffy if it has the potential to pull your teeth out?
Why are your teeth so weak that both came out at the same time?
Oh.
Isn't it unbelievable? and I ate one in the morning.
Brundle Kenny.
And I did another one later that day.
Did you also break somebody's wrist arm wrestling and then vomit on your food and re-eat it?
Your taffy.
I can't help it. I love the taffy.
All right, well, what could I tell you, Kenny? Good luck tomorrow.
As a kid, taffy was like, you'd even know as a kid, like, wow, this could just rip my teeth right out of my gums.
I got tomorrow's sound. Kenny?
Yes, I'm ready.
Just say, hi, I'm Kenny, and what can I say? I love the taffy.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and what can I say? I love the taffy.
You're going to be played all day on all these radio stations. You got to, come on, with some gusto. This is the sound for tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and what can I say? I love the taffy.
Now, go cartoon voice. Cartoon voice. Give us a voice. Let's
And
go.
loud.
And loud. Let's go. Be excited about taffy. Taffy. Let's go,
You're Kenny, for Pete's sake.
You're Kenny. You love taffy. Let's hear it.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
Now it sounds like coffee.
Yeah, the taffy. It's like Wayne Newton.
All right, one more try. One more try.
Taffy's one of those words that kind of loses its meaning if you say it too much.
Yeah, I understand.
It becomes silly. Taffy.
Go ahead, Kenny.
My wife is going to kick me in the ass.
Who cares? You're going to be on the radio all day. Trust me, you will.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
There you go. That's what you're listening for tomorrow between 7 and 7:30.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Kenny.
Love you guys.
All right. We're going to take a break. Jim Jeffries, Louis C.K., and we'll talk about Tina. The next U2 phenomenon, we'll let you decide.
I want to know what the problem is with her.
All on the way. Opie and Anthony.
This is Chuck the Iceman of Down. You're listening to my pal, Little Jimmy Norton.
It's getting busy in here. Opie and Anthony. Of course, Jim Norton. Louis C.K. Louis, where are you playing? Long Island?
Long Island, the Westbury North Fork Music Hall?
Yeah.
Thing place?
It used to be the Westbury Music Fair, they called it.
And then it was the tent for a while.
Was it?
The music tent, and now it's the hall. I don't know.
Now it's, the North Fork Bank.
The Long Islanders
Center.
know.
It's on Saturday.
They know. And it's in the round, right?
I think so. I think we're... I don't know. I don't know if I'm, rotating in the round or something.
Yeah, you are in the round.
I think it rotates really slow.
The stage rotates real slow.
Yeah, that's
I saw Bob Saget there, and
Yeah.
he was making fun of some old lady that was at his show.
And he had to keep pacing
No, and then all of a sudden, his perspective, because like you just said, the stage rotates so slow that you don't even think it's rotating.
Mm-hmm.
So what was hilarious, he wanted to go back to the old lady to make fun of her again,
finding her.
and he's pointing, and she's no longer over there. She's
Yeah.
now behind him, and everyone starts laughing and yelling, "She's now over here!" And he was so confused because you have no idea that thing is slowly rotating.
No.
And you got to concentrate on what you're wearing from the back also.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, usually you get up there, you don't care if you're baggy pants, hanging ass, whatever.
Yeah.
Now you got to kind of look good from all around 360.
I usually have caca on the back of my pants.
I saw Yes in the round
Pieces of
once.
caca. Really?
How were they? It was Yes.
In the round.
They're not many better from behind.
It was
they're great.
It's not like when you see the back of Yes, you go, "Oh my God, that's what all the hoopla is about."
What I was missing.
It was a 3-hour show, and they played 4 songs, so it was terrific for everybody.
I've actually done that gig, the Westbury Music Fair. I didn't headline it. Actually, I did it years ago, 2002. But I was
No, you didn't.
no in the round. I didn't in the round.
No, you didn't.
No.
Yeah. No, Lou, I was the closing act. But I did it in the round with Jay Black and the Americans, who has the record for the most sellouts in the Westbury Music Fair. A little bit
Wow.
of trivia.
Hey, I like that trivia.
And he's filthy. He drops the C-bomb.
Really?
Oh, he's a dirtbag when he talks.
He's a hoot.
Really?
Yeah, he's great. What's he
Jay
sing?
and the Americans?
What's the big song he sings?
Only in America. You mean that?
He's saying...
It begins with a C. There's a song with a big C.
Cherokee Pete.
No. No.
I don't know.
What is that song?
It's like a one-hit wonder.
No, he had a couple of big ones.
No, he didn't.
Jay Black and the Americans?
Give me the very best of Jay and the Americans. Give me the song list. Yeah, there's a lot of hits there.
Which one?
First of all, the very best of Jay and the Americans
You're right, only
has
that.
7 songs. So
They couldn't scrape up 8 or 9.
nothing against Jay and the Americans, but if you put out the very best of Jay and the Americans, you better damn hope that you
Please
have
have
more
eight-
than 7
10
songs.
How do you wait?
Seven only in America. This magic moment. I know that one.
A bit closer. That one.
Yeah, that's like a TV
Ultra
commercial.
bright
That's a big hit.
toothpaste or something.
Wait, that was actually his
That's
song.
his song. Yeah.
Wait, give me a taste of
That's
that.
arid extra dry.
You can't.
We got all sorts of
technical
issues today.
next time, okay.
You know, I met the guy who wrote "By Menon."
Oh, no, really.
I did.
And that's,
Seriously,
is the whole song just by Menon, or is
he
there more
makes
to it?
yeah, that's it.
That's
and he makes a fortune on
3 notes.
By Menon.
He actually
That's
wrote it as B.I.
That's right. No, I asked him about it. He said that the Menon gave him a shot at it. They said, "Well, give us some." So he gave him like 20 things. By Menon and by Menon. Like, by Menon.
It was every combination of 3 notes.
Yeah. And they picked number 15 or whatever, and it bought him. He has a house and all kinds of stuff from it.
Wow.
We also got to say hi to Jim Jeffries, who played Caroline's last night here in New York.
Hello.
How'd it go, Jim?
It was all right. Yeah, no, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, people laughed. That's the job, isn't it? That's all you can ever ask for.
Yeah.
I love it how you drop the C-bomb. What is it, dropping all these swear words? Is this an American term now to say you drop the F-bomb?
Well,
the bomb.
I hate because I hate so much saying he said the C word. I hate the C word, and that's what one of us curses.
Yeah.
So man, you dropped an F-bomb like just in the wrong time.
We're very militaristic, country, and we love dropping bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
So even curses can be dropped like a bomb and hopefully injure people.
Let me get this correct. Is Louis C.K. so big now that he has people standing behind him at a gig? Is this what we're talking about?
Yes.
Is that what happens? Like, is that what you mean when you're in the round?
No,
like,
in the round means that that there's seats all around you and the stage rotates. I've never done it before.
retards thought of this. Like, what is that a good? That's a stupid idea, right?
I'm not sure
comedy.
which retard thought of it.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was a retard.
I don't think they really had comics in mind when they did that. It was like for a band.
Oh, so it's a big place. It's not like an 80-seater. Right?
No!
Oh, God, that would be funny.
Intimate club in the round.
You're standing on a sit and spin.
Yeah, you're just like on one of those things they put mannequins on.
A busboy spins you around.
Yeah, like a Disney exhibit.
Like
standing on a 78.
Yeah. Like in the middle of a Chinese restaurant so you can get to the food.
Yeah. No, that place was pretty much made for bands, and they would set up so you could see everybody in the band. But, comics, it's a little weird.
I don't
it
like
works,
the
but
idea of it.
I was at the movies the other night, and I see a trailer come on.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just sitting there, and I just had to burst out. It's Louie.
Yeah. Yes,
you were huge.
I'm in a trailer. I'm like 18 feet tall.
You were huge on the screen. I'm just like, it's Louie.
You know what's great is that my dad and my mother both had the same experience because they didn't even know I was. That's how little I could call them. That's how bad a son I am. My dad was like, he's just going to see a movie, and he sees his son making a goofy stop the music for the joke.
Right? Yes, you
Like-
did. I know.
like
No,
the
it's that
trailer.
too.
The music's like, darn it. And then my joke. And then, it's really,
He's that guy in the trailer.
really cheesy.
What movie?
It's a movie with Martin Lawrence. It's called Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Right.
And he plays it's coming out in February, I guess, and he plays this. I got this call from my agent once last year during the summer saying they want you to audition for this Martin Lawrence movie. And I said, no, I don't. I don't audition for stuff because I never get it.
Right.
I stink.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah. And so they because it's not just you don't just. You got to go park in some place and get a validation and walk in the hot sun across it.
So there's a lot more than just standing there and auditioning.
Yeah, and then you get in there and they're like, "We're so glad you're here. We're fans of your stand-up." And then you open your mouth and they go, "What? Why did you come here? You're awful." So it's an awful thing to go through.
Terrible.
So I don't do it anymore. So then one day they go, "This Martin Lawrence movie really wants to see you." So I said, all right, make an appointment. And they made the appointment. And then I remember it was like 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. And so it got to be 2:30. And I'm like, I'm not going. I didn't go. And
Jesus Christ.
So they
How did you get so popular? Like,
You're a go-getter, Lou.
Yeah, so they call me and they go, they're offended because they actually really made a space for you. All right, make another appointment. So they made another appointment on the day I was leaving, and I just, again, I got on the flight, and I remember being on the flight going, oh, boo, I forgot. And then I get to New York, and there's a script of the movie waiting for me in my apartment, and with a note, please put yourself on tape.
There should have just been an FU note.
Yeah,
Just
but they want me to get.
Screw.
I'm certainly not going to go get a video camera, set it up, make my wife talk like Martin Lawrence so I can audition for this movie, and then send it. So
Yeah.
I said, yes, I'll put myself on tape, and I never did. And then 2 weeks later, my agent called and said, they're giving you the part.
Wow, that is a great strategy.
Yes, it is.
It's like, I don't care if I get it. I'm not going to audition.
Yeah.
You were so relaxed.
Yeah.
Giving you the reason I think, because I've cast movies and TV shows, when you go on tape, when you audition for something, you close the book on yourself. They go, okay, because every audition kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how good somebody is, when you audition, it's disappointing. Like, even if it's like, oh, let's get Robert De Niro, and then if he auditioned, which he doesn't, obviously, you go, it wasn't what I saw. But
Could
when
you
there's
be
somebody,
more De Niro?
yeah, exactly. But when somebody's out there and they won't audition, you're like, but he might be the guy. He might be the guy. And so they didn't find anybody.
You'd rather
good.
have the element of doubt working for you.
Oh, hey, buddy.
than-
That's the first movie I ever got, and I got it that way. And I've done 2 more movies that I got without auditioning.
Love it.
Same way.
Bravo.
Same
Well,
way.
you know, whatever works for you, man.
But the line in the stupid thing is he's a TV show host, and I go, "You're the new Oprah. You're the male Oprah. You're Oprah, bro." It's
Yes.
awful joke.
Yes.
Did you
And
deliver?
I'd love to lay it on the movie, but I made it up. It was an ad
You're
lib.
Ope, bro.
Yeah.
When I saw your huge face on the screen, I wanted to yell out, "I know this guy!" until the joke.
Yeah, exactly. And then, who's that guy?
What an idiot! I was like, Louie, Louie, you want to sit over here near me?
Hey,
Ope, bro.
we
made
Jimmy's
that up.
still repeating the line.
I don't actually get it.
I don't actually
get
Well,
it.
instead of
Because
Oprah,
Oprah, is
he's-
that like...
He's the male
Oh,
Oprah.
yeah, that's like a
Oprah,
bra.
bro, which is like a black gentleman refer
yo,
to each
my
other.
my bro.
The word,
Yeah,
the
a
word
long time
bra
ago.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
a feminine black word, does it? Is
No,
that,
but it's just the
that
mas-
joke sucks.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't need the feminine side to then have.
why don't we listen to the joke?
All right.
Okay.
Showtime.
Yeah.
America's
the music.
favorite talk show host is married television sweetheart. You're the male Oprah. Ope bro. But before
There it is.
The worst part is
No,
that
I'm wrong. That's an excellent
I know,
joke.
it's really good. The worst part is that the guy, the director, kept telling me to laugh at the joke.
That's you laughing?
He goes,
Okay.
you got it. You have to really, you're being funny and you're making a joke. Everything I do in the movie where I'm saying anything that's funny, which is never, he says, you have to laugh really hard because you're being funny.
Did you have to wear the
I'm
blue?
laughing. I'm LOLing
Who directed
all
this?
of my jokes.
Who directed
I'm
this?
one of those jackasses that writes a joke and then says LOL to himself.
Yeah. Did you have to wear the Bluetooth through
Director-
the whole movie?
Yes, I did. I'm wearing a Bluetooth.
I see that. I see
through
it
the-
still.
There he is.
Can I
You're
see
meant to
it?
be like a manager type of guy or something.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Let me hear it again.
you're the male Oprah. Ope bro. But before they start their new family, he's taking her back home to meet his.
That's it.
That was a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
laugh, though.
It was it was a funny
Who's
joke.
the director?
It
He
was
sounds
easy
like he
to
wrote
laugh
those
at.
comedy.
Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's cousin.
Cool, because he's right, though. That is the way to do it. Is you should always laugh after you say something funny.
Yes, always.
Good thing Spike didn't think that way.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, he would have said, go, "Her," after you say anything tough. You've been hoodwinked.
Hoodwink.
Let's go to Jared in Boston. Jared, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Louie.
What's up, Jared?
Boo.
Oh, give him the Jimmy Boo.
No, not the Jimmy Boo.
My chick does
Awesome.
that to me when I tell a bad joke in the relationship. We'll actually be laying around. I'll say something awful, and if it's really bad, she'll go, "Thanks, Uncle Jim," or she'll just go, or she'll just go, "Boo." She boos me in our personal life.
Hey, we got a taser story.
Reminding her that you're permanently older than her, that's got to be more hurtful, though.
No, that please, it
That she'll
fills
never
me
catch up to you.
How young is your bird? How young is she?
Well, she is. I'm 39 and she's 29.
Yeah, that's all
Well,
right.
she will be actually.
That's all right.
She will be in 10
will
years.
be.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to get to this story. It's a taser story. We love these.
Oh.
And in this case, the guy was tased to death.
Wow, it killed him?
This isn't going to help our taser pajama party. We're trying to get together.
Trying to get like a lingerie party with girls, obviously.
Yeah.
Come in with girls to come in here, and then we want to tase them.
As they're wearing little tiny little
And they'll be wearing
outfits.
like the sexiest things, little boy shorts and stuff. And we just want to like hit them with stun guns.
Little teddies.
Yeah.
There's a few videos online. We can't play them today. We're shut down today. The master computer shut down.
Are you seriously going to do that?
Yeah, we really want to do this.
Oh my god!
Is that
Well,
legal? Are you allowed
we
to
don't-
pay
we don't
for
care.
it?
Trying to-
Do they have to
Yeah.
sign away the
We might not even.
Yeah, they would sign away their rights to
well,
live.
Just go to Antigua, film it in Antigua.
Yeah,
you'll
we
be
just go
fine.
to another country and
We're probably not even going to broadcast it. We're just
If
going
you
to do it
get-
somewhere.
If you get tased, does a burn mark appear on your body, or is that just
that's only if you really like
Find
leave
out.
it and bam, you know.
So-
If you just tap them, boof,
It's
they'll
only
just
fair.
fall down and scream
I've been
Oh,
thinking
and writhe
about
around
that
in their
glory
little
hole.
panties.
Louis, there's videos out there. Go to YouTube. There's a girl singing "Sweet Home Alabama" in tiny little boy shorts and a little tank top, and she gets tased.
So
you got it.
So it is something that is happening out
So
there.
you nicked this idea.
Yeah, we want.
yes,
yeah,
yes.
we
No, good
stole
for
it.
you. It's a good idea.
Well, that was like a 10-second video. We want a whole party, man. You know, with all sorts of pajama party
That's
games.
pretty
and,
good.
And we're gonna tase the girl.
I was thinking about
Twist, you should
that,
play Twister while you're tasing.
And by the way, we had plenty of girls calling as soon as we brought up this.
of course you did.
This idea. All
course
right,
you did.
here we go. Crazy Polish guy in Canadian airport gets tasered to death.
Oh, awesome.
This one died.
The video begins with a man who appears agitated. By now, 40-year-old Robert Zikansky has been in the secure area of Vancouver International for almost 10 hours. Passengers are trying to talk to him in English, but he doesn't seem to understand. With the woman on this side of a glass wall and he on the other, Zikansky can be seen picking up a computer and throwing it. In fact, he threw the computer and a chair in front of two YVR security guards who make no attempt to restrain him. The RCMP won't arrive for another 1 minute 45 seconds.
Security guards didn't try to restrain him?
No, they let it get.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
I guess.
Then the Royal Canadian Police
Here's the
came up.
here's the clip of the hot girl singing "Sweet Home Alabama." Just in case you didn't believe me.
Where?
Where should you face it? Face it. Face it.
See, that's what we want to do right there.
God.
Do we have "Happy Birthday" too? Yeah, these are really quick. Here's "Happy Birthday."
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, good, idiot.
Is that great? Can't you visualize it? This studio filled with hot girls in pajamas.
Visualize it, yeah.
Of course, you want to be here, right?
I'm gonna be here.
And because the holiday's right around the
I'm
corner,
gonna
we got this
touch
one.
myself to it tonight before it even happens.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh my god.
All right, here's more.
Hold on, Lou, do you think Fred Claus looks funny?
Oh, does it look fun? I mean, it's not even mine to say. It's absolute that looks funny.
A hoot.
I've never seen so much advertising for one film in my entire
Oh my
life.
god, it's embarrassing.
And,
yeah.
and it doesn't look good.
Well, that's why all the advertising.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't do that over where you're from.
No.
Over here, if you
They
see
don't
a commercial for a
advertise
movie
it.
over and over again, it means it blows.
When I see Vince Vaughn on that big wheel in the print ad,
Crazy.
it just cracks me up. It's like, why would a big guy like Vince Vaughn be on a big wheel?
I know that must
being
be
chased and stuff, and I laugh every time I see it.
Oh,
He's
because
too big for that.
Of
bike.
course
big
he
for that.
is.
Totally too big for it.
Oh, it's just silly.
It's just so silly. Why would a big fella do that?
I know.
And then my mind runs through all the other little things that he can be on. As
Yes.
a big fella.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see what things they chose to put. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
I'll go to the tape whatever you want, man. You're old, bro.
Yeah, wonderful. Bro. Yuck. Here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
You gotta laugh.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You're old, bro.
Yeah, he's in a movie and we're doing a dumb radio show.
I know.
Yeah, we're idiots.
Yeah, I got $100,000 for a week's work. So.
Really?
So,
For that joke?
for that joke.
So it's supposed to be 200.
Tell me you do other jokes just as
What?
good. There's like 4 or 5.
No, that's the best one.
That's the best one.
That's the best one.
100 grand.
He's going to have
Yep.
the very best of Louis C.K. He's going to have 7
right.
jokes. That's one of them.
That's right. That's right. That's going to be number. That's going to be number one.
Hitting Jay
That's
Black.
good. I can tell my friends that I know the guy who says the Oprah joke.
That's right.
I'm going to be like the king back in England.
That's right.
When
I
that
mean, that's
movie
what I'm
gets
gonna-
released on DVD.
That's what I'm going to be to black people after that movie comes back.
It's Oprah guy. Hey, Oprah guy.
Yeah.
All right, here's more
That's going to be on my posters when I go on tour. Oprah, Louis C.K.
Here's more from the crazy Polish guy.
Despite 2 clear warnings that he does not speak English, the RCMP speak to Zakansky in English for about 29 seconds before they taser him. At one point just before this, Zakansky can be seen putting his hands up and walking away, seemingly in frustration. You can hear someone yell, "Hit him again, hit him again."
Harder, harder.
Hit the Pollock, hit the Pollock.
Harder, harder.
Hit the Pollock, hit the Pollock.
I thought that was going to be funny. It really was just a man dying.
Yeah. There's really no humor there.
Well, he didn't die like Jerry Lewis or something.
No, don't. The thing with the power.
And he clearly said
Polish.
twice he doesn't speak English. How exactly would he do that?
Yeah, exactly.
We
Yeah.
just heard a guy die.
Dude, I don't speak English.
Yeah, stop.
Here's the last
Don't
of the
tase
story.
me, bro.
Don't taste me, bro.
I love that.
2
Don't
more
tase me,
join in.
bro.
One officer appearing to place his knee on the victim's neck, and it appears to remain there even after Zakansky stops breathing.
Oh, boy.
About here, Zakansky seems to stop breathing, and the officer with his back to the camera still has his right knee on the victim's neck.
I heard him say code red.
On the right of your screen, someone in a suit appears to check for a pulse. An autopsy would later
Mortician.
reveal Zakansky had no drugs or alcohol in his body at the time of death.
Damn.
But he had a lot of volts of electricity.
It was glowing.
Might have had something to do with it.
It seemed like the knee to the neck might have caused some complications there.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has kept me from doing anything where I would be arrested in that fashion.
Yeah.
Like if I ever get arrested, I will be very cooperative gentleman. I'll put my hands behind my back, whatever it takes. But the resisting thing, that knee to the neck.
There's a whole bunch of standard procedures that can kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and they're fine with it. Like
totally.
you will just be dead, and they'll go on working.
Yep.
Oh, the cops love killing people.
Yeah, well, you know, it's we have a case here in New York.
Sweeping statement, I know.
Case here in New York where a guy was shot 20 times. He came out of his house. A 911 call came in. Mother said that her son is acting all weird and violent. Could you send the police? And in the background, the son, all you hear him saying is, "I got a gun. I got a gun. Come on, bring it." So that's what the 911 operator then conveyed to the police.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that when you call 911, it doesn't go to the cop car as he's answering. The cop just hears, "We have a call, violent man with a weapon."
Yeah. It's a very dangerous version of telephone.
Right. So they go there. Now a second 911 call comes in. And apparently this one, which just turned up today, the mother again calls and somehow says, kind of vaguely, that her son doesn't have a gun. But the son keeps saying he's got a gun.
How do you vaguely say you don't have
Yeah,
a gun?
yeah.
Because she was
Help,
kind of like...
my son doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, he doesn't
Come
have a
quick.
gun. Well, the 911 operator asked, "Is he armed? Does he have a gun?" And she went, he said something. It wasn't like, no, he does not have a gun. Don't shoot him.
It was a bit vague.
Yeah, it was a little vague. Yeah. And that message doesn't get to the cops. They're already, they're flying. They could be there already.
Yeah, it's yes or no.
Right.
Yeah.
So he comes out of the window finally, and the cops tell him to stop. He grabs into his pants and under his shirt and pulls something out. They open fire on him. It turns out to be a brush.
Yeah.
It's a brush.
He wanted to look good.
I agree with the cops on that. I reckon kill the...
Yeah. The cops were well within their right. They felt... The cop doesn't... There doesn't have to be a gun. They just have to feel that they're... life is being threatened to use deadly force.
And if he was pulling a brush out, he was just being cheeky, wasn't he? At that moment, he didn't want to...
Cheeky. That's one word
he was
for
just
it.
being a bit cheeky there.
Yes, he was. I think you're right.
And implying that he had a gun. So kill the bastard.
But I heard Earl on Ron and Fez yesterday commenting on this, and of course Earl was all against the police on this one, saying they shot at him even after he dropped the brush. All I could think of, I wanted to call him, but all I could think of is the cops going, he dropped a brush, which means he's still got a gun. And just opened up on him.
He reached into his pants and pulled out a black hand. So he needed to be shot.
Pretty much. Some people are saying that.
They look like their hands look like guns.
Yeah, it's... Oh, my God.
We really got to take a break.
Yeah, we got
really late. We got Jim Jeffries in studio, Louis C.K., Jim Jeffries, Caroline's tonight again.
Caroline's tonight at 10 p.m.
And Louis C.K. out there on Long Island.
Westbury, North Fork Bank Center, place where I talk and you listen.
When?
Lots of money. Saturday night, 17th.
All right, we'll be back. Opie and Anthony.
Hear what everyone else is talking about. O&A Uncut and Live, continuing the show on XM Satellite Radio, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Visit xmradio.com to subscribe.
Yeah, we're back. Opie and Anthony. Jim Jeffries giving us good stuff during the breaks.
I'm funny in the breaks. Rubbish not there. Awesome in the breaks.
Now we're going to go right back to that in a second, but I got to play tomorrow's sound so people are into the game for tomorrow, okay? This is what you're listening for between 7 and 7:30 if you want to win $1,000 tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
Don't ask. But that's what that's what the listeners need to listen for tomorrow between 7 and 7:30 if you want to win $1,000. That sound and all the sound clips are up on onaradio.com, so you know what you're listening for.
Whoever wins should spend that $1,000 to have that man killed.
He could not take direction.
No.
He could absolutely not take direction. We're trying to tell him, punch it up a little bit, have some energy. You do a little cartoony voice, but make it loud. Okay, it was the same blah, blah, blah delivery.
And laugh at it after you say it.
Laugh at it, yeah.
Just some, yeah.
Finish with the word bro.
You got to make it clear that a joke happened.
So
if you don't laugh, how's the audience going to know you're trying to be funny? They might actually think that you think his name is Oprah.
Right.
You better laugh.
You better laugh.
Yeah.
Jim was talking about how the Brits are not nice people.
Well,
and we were just getting into it as we got back into the show.
I was just saying, every time I see like American stand-up, they're always like, I went over to England, and English people are so polite. They do this. Well, you people are the politest people in the world. Right? I'm getting people every day telling me to have a nice day, and I'm such a moody bastard. I'm looking at them going, I'll see about that. Don't you tell me what I should do with my day, you pompous American. Right? But the Brits are the rudest. Like, if you people think they're all polite and tit-bit tally-ho and walking around with bowler hats and, like, going, excuse me, and all that type of stuff, I can't say exactly what they say, but go to a football match and have your son's head kicked in front of you because he didn't know what the offside rule meant, right? Like, they're proper rude people.
Proper rude people.
Proper rude. And, like, no one tips or anything like that. Their beer is flat. Do you want to know why their beer is flat?
Why?
Right? Like, it comes through the taps flatter because they're cheap bastards, right? They want the beer to the top. They don't want any head on it whatsoever.
Right.
Because if there's a little bit of head on it, that means they're losing, 3% of the volume.
Yeah, no oxygen.
They don't like ice because that once again you don't get as
Watering
much
down the
drink
pipes.
and everything, and because their teeth are so rotten, they're sensitive that they can't even drink fast.
Sensitive teeth.
They really
nice
do.
Warm liquid.
They really do. They scoop the ice out of the drink, and they're a horrible mongrel breed.
They stink as a nation.
They do, but I live there and I miss it very much.
Yeah.
Well, and you were talking yesterday that there's racism, but it's different. It's not the typical black white racism thing.
They used to hate the black people in the 70s, right? And they had some very racist sitcoms.
They call them, what's the word they use there?
Nignog.
Nignog.
Oh, my God. Is that what it's called in England?
I'm not having that nignog come around my house. You know, right?
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, nignog.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sounds like a drink you have on Kwanzaa.
Sounds like a
that used to be in sitcoms. They would say this word, and then
but that sounds like a sitcom catchphrase. I'm not having that nignog around my house.
All right. Someone Google a show called Love Thy Neighbour that the Brits had on in the 70s, and the show was basically there's a white family and a black family. They live next door. How are they going to get along?
Actually, that's
Right.
isn't that where All in the Family came from? I think.
No, that was
Till
Man
death
About
do
the
us.
House.
Till death do us part.
So the thing is,
Man About the House was Three's Company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all,
the Man About
all
the
day in
House.
this sitcom, he would call him Sambo, Nignog, all these type of
Wow.
Jungle Bunny was another right. Like, and you go through the whole show, and then the black guy would call him Snowflake, like once, and everyone would go, "Well, now it's even." Now it's okay. The black guy's had his own. Everything's fine.
Well, that's
Continue
what
on
I've
with the
always
hilarity.
felt about black.
Dumped.
They had
What? Why were they dumping
Why are they dumping?
English versions of words in this context
The
and discussion?
description of what Jim was saying has been dumped every time.
That's
serious?
Hysterical.
Well, I'm sorry.
You mean your fault? It's not
That's
your fault.
hysterical.
Not your fault.
There's no racism in England. Then
I was speaking
that's
in
what we're,
context.
That's what. Oh,
Yeah, it
be
was
careful with that
completely
word too.
It was completely in context,
Yeah.
and it's just
These aren't my thoughts, people.
it's
My dad,
describing
on the other hand, that's exactly how he thinks.
what the words are in England.
That's
Like no one
amazing.
would.
Wow.
It's
well,
funny
folks,
that's a bad word in England because it sounds so harmless.
Yes, it does.
It sounds silly.
Wow, that just stopped a hilarious
That's amazing.
God.
segment of the Opie and Anthony show. You were on a roll too, my friend.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny.
It made Jim leave the studio. He's going to march
It'd be
down
funny
the hall
if people
and talk
go to
Tom.
see him now because they take our word for it, and then there's just blank spaces in his accent.
It's like, no, he was really doing the whole thing on the air, and
just
Well, okay,
Oh,
just for the
God.
record, there's no racism in England.
Oh, not even at all.
I just want there to be,
Yeah.
to be quite certain. There's none anywhere in the world. None.
No,
it's
none.
all love.
It is.
I bet you they didn't dump Snowflake.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And by not
Well, that's the
talking
thing
about
is
it-
that, but the words that black people can say about white people are they can't hurt
No.
because like if the words that people call black people bring them back to all the terrible things that have ever happened to them. That's why they hurt so much. But you call me a cracker. And it brings me as I'm like, oh yeah, well, I owned a lot of land and people. And
Where does the word cracker come from? Where does that
it
come
means
from?
it's something that you call somebody. It means crack of the whip. So it's like it doesn't really make a. It's not like you're taking a person down. Like cracker. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yes,
that's-
a white suit, some lemonade,
Where does
and,
honky
A
come
mint
from?
julep, a mint julep.
What about honky? Is honky? What is that one?
I don't know how honky.
It's just a dumb word.
Some
Honky.
people say it's because of the way that white Americans talk.
Oh, kind of nasally honk.
yeah. it's just-
Okay.
yeah,
I don't
that
know
would
you
make
geese.
sense.
I don't think there's one white person that has been offended by that word.
I really,
Not a one.
My daughter cried.
When she was called a honky.
Because somebody called her a honky in school. Because they were
Are you
trying to.
serious?
No, of course not.
I thought that's an awesome
Yeah.
story. You're
No,
That
she was
would have been a
carrying-
great
She was
story.
carrying a book and wearing sunglasses, and there was a bunch of black people calling her honky. And as the National Guard was leading her into a
Yes.
Right.
Segregated school.
Yes, exactly.
What happened, Jimmy?
I just saw Tom in the hall. He's like, I talked to him. I don't think it should have been dumped. I don't think that was Tom.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
F and A.
Am I in trouble
That-
now?
No.
No, you're not.
No.
The guy is look. I know he's
Bloody
trying
honky.
The guy turned
You
into
have to leave the country, though.
trying to,
You know how frustrating that is? That was probably the funniest segment of the entire show, and
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't get to hear it because we got a panicky Pete on the button.
Yeah.
He's a
Panicky
little
Pete.
worried, but the racial
Line
stuff.
of the
dude,
day will
relax
be
with the racial
silence.
So
stuff.
can we say the word?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Which-
Shouldn't-
which-
So, Tom said it's okay?
He just said it shouldn't be. He said I talked to him. I'm like, Tom, the guy wrecked
He
this
didn't
segment.
talk
I
to
know
him.
he's trying to do his job, but he wrecked this segment.
Yeah.
Jim.
I mean, it happens.
Jim Jeffries, don't overdo it, but maybe you could you could go back there.
Nignog's still a bad word. Is that one going to
Well,
be?
that's what
English people call black people. in
Nignog. It's not even an American word.
No.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
Those awful racist people.
Yes.
And I really
But,
wish
see,
they wouldn't use this
my
word.
Point, my point is, they used
never.
to in the 70s. They used to have a problem with black people, and then in the 80s, it became they had problems with the Indians and the Pakistanis was the big problem that they had, and they united about that. And then it was like after September the 11th, they had problems with Arab people, and now it's since the EU has opened up, they hate the Polish people because the Polish people will do a kitchen for you for half the price, and the
Oh,
British
really?
are the laziest workers in the world, and everything's overcharged. I had some renovations done in my house. Of course I got Polish people in. I wouldn't make an English person make me anything. They couldn't build anything. They're drinking like 10 cups of tea a day, the lazy pricks. They really are. Like the average English person they work out drinks 4 cups of tea a day. Right? Now I live there. I'm part of their population. I don't drink any, so that means some bastard's having 8. Right? A day, every day.
Yeah.
It stopped us in our tracks here, though. So the sitcom, let's get back to that because that's interesting.
All
The
right.
sitcom was called what?
Love Thy Neighbour.
Love Thy Neighbour.
And it still airs on Australian TV because don't even get me started on Australian racism. That's,
So they're
they're
in 70s racist.
But it's funny to hear racism from other countries. Like, yeah,
That's why this is interesting.
Yeah.
They're like, we call them kangaroo lovers. It's like, why? There's nothing here. But
Yeah.
somebody's being bothered by it. But
So
not here.
and this sitcom was a black family
Next door to a
a
white
white family and how they're going to get
It's
along.
called Love Thy- They had another one called Mind Your English, which was like a guy who was an English teacher who taught English to foreigners, and there was every different type of nationality, and there was some great stereotypes in that sitcom.
Oh, that must be it right there.
If you're an Indian bloke, your head had to wobble in that sitcom. There was no other option. You know what I mean? It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
See, there's
That's Love Thy Neighbor, probably.
There's Love Thy Neighbour. There.
and the Jeffersons
Yeah.
living next door to each other because
I think that was-
Wheezy always
yeah.
got along with Edith.
Yeah.
2 shows you really can't make nowadays.
No, you,
Well,
at
Some of the
all.
greatest sitcoms ever.
What
Can't
about
even
Charles
make
in
them.
Charge? Good luck getting that one through.
Yeah, well,
I know.
We're going through
the
this.
subject
That
matter
young
they
girl,
touched on.
the Eggert or whatever. What's her name?
Nicole Eggert.
Nicole Eggert. She was a good thing, wasn't she? What's happened
Yeah.
to her? Is she still kicking about?
Nah, she kind of
Got old.
Yeah, she screwed herself up. She got like implants and
I don't remember who she
you
was.
got those like soft.
She was like the
porno or something.
16-year-old on Charles in
Yeah.
Charge, and then she
Oh.
became a Baywatch babe. But I liked her
Oh.
more when she was on Charles.
Charles in charge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before she
Because I
got
was the
gated.
same age as her or something, and I thought
Yeah.
she was a bit special.
See, you understand where I come from because we always talk about who was hot when you were growing up watching television, and these guys are like they're picking like women, like Wonder Woman and this, and I was
Right.
like, no, I was always into chicks that were my age on television.
I had a thing for Punky Brewster when I was 8 as well.
Right. If you-
I'm serious. I used to think,
In that
yeah,
age,
she's a good thing.
You're like,
But I
Punky.
was 8 and she was 8.
you say I'd like to go and hold hands with her.
I was. I
You know,
was
it's the little
well-developed
innocent
8-year-old.
thing. I want to hold hands with Punky Brewster.
But Solange Moonfry,
I was 20 at the time.
She grew up to be a good sort as well.
Oh, yeah. Now you want to hold her globes.
I picked her right. I picked her at 8 that she was going to be a hottie at 20, and Solange
Yeah?
Moonfry.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good sort.
Paid off.
Big titties on Solange Moonfry.
Oh,
Well,
oops.
that one.
What are we going to dump the word?
Can you believe they
that
don't
word?
even like that word?
That one.
Even that sweet little word.
Yeah, look, we're all in agreement that one's going to be dumped.
When you go back to
That one is,
when you go back to some civilized nation, tell them the story of how we are just
How afraid of words we are
how
here.
afraid of words Americans are.
Yeah, words hurt.
I wasn't being hateful.
No,
I'm
no,
just
But
saying
even
the
if you
context.
were, it should be allowed. It should be. It's not illegal to be hateful, even though you aren't being hateful.
Yeah.
We're the only country to drop a bomb. Can we lighten up?
yeah,
Yeah.
come on, we dropped 2 atom bombs.
That was a lot of guilt.
What's wrong with
a lot of guilt there, Jim?
a funny word for boobies?
I know, and they were wonderful bombs.
So you can say boobies.
The whole thing with the
Yeah.
You can say boobies.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's silly sounding.
well, to
About-
me, the
about
thing
booby
also
wives.
that's so fake about stuff like N-word
Yeah.
is because nobody has a problem saying that.
No,
Like
no, they
saying
use it all the
N-word,
time now.
But it's exactly like saying the word. It's just white people getting away with saying that word. Because if you say N-word, you're putting that other word that I can't say on the radio in people's heads.
You know it, and you say it in your head.
So the person says, somebody on CNN says N-word, and then I go, oh, she means,
Yeah.
So she's making me say it.
But you
Yeah.
wa-
They don't want you just say it.
watch where this is going to go, though. That word will be banned from radio
After a
shows.
while, you're not going to be able
And
to
then-
say N-word.
And then,
N-word.
and then TV shows are not going to say that either.
Yep.
They're going to have to come up with something else, and then that will be banned. And,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so on and
Is
so on
is
and
the
so
N-word
on.
not banned? I thought it was banned.
It shouldn't be. No, people want it to
It
be
is,
banned.
but after a while, you're not going to be able to say literally. Well, but it is
Are we
funny. Like when you
thinking
watch
of the same N-word.
Well, like what's
Yeah.
his name? Mark Cohen. Remember him, comedian? He
Yeah, yeah.
told me he was watching Blazing Saddles on TV, and they cut out the fart scene.
Oh yeah.
And they cut out every bad word.
Yep.
Down like even ass.
It's the whole movie.
And then, but the N word flying out of people's mouths. Every
really?
other- Yeah. I mean, it's all over
Yeah,
Blazing Saddles. But it's like if the idea is not to offend people, you took out the farts and you left in the N word.
Yeah.
You know,
Doesn't make too much sense.
no.
Hey, getting back to the Brits, we got a great story about a British guy. Listen to this.
38-year-old David Russell. The court heard he almost killed himself because he needed the money. He used a gun like this to shoot 7 nails into his chest and forearm. Then he told police he was a victim of street crime and tried to claim thousands of pounds in compensation.
They just swung me around, pushed this thing into my chest.
In hospital at the time, he told the BBC he'd been assaulted near his home in Gloucester by 3 young black men.
Oops.
No, but he didn't call them that.
No, I'm sure.
They were very young black men.
They were young nignogs and they had carpentry tools.
Rudimentary carpentry.
I don't know why.
At hospital.
At hospital while on holiday.
Having a cup of tea and driving nails into my chest.
The thing is, do you have that over here? Like he's wanting compensation off the government, not off the people. Like if
Why?
you get,
Right.
Do you have that over here where you can just get money off the government if you get hurt?
If something bad happens
sue
to
the
you,
government.
no, in England, if something bad happens to you, they give you a few bucks.
Yeah.
I got $2 grand because I got my head fractured in a comedy club. Walking out, a guy came up behind me and smashed my head into a table. Didn't like the set. I had a good show that day as well. And he smashed my, and I
You got paid more than the gig fee.
Yeah, I just rang up the government and said I got a fractured skull. And they go, what happened? I went, someone bashed my head into a table.
They went,
and then
"Oh."
they went, and
Yeah,
they
you
sent me $2 grand.
What is
that
about? How is the
Great
British
system.
pound worth anything? They're dopes.
It's worth twice the dollar.
I also had a housebreaking. This is a true story, right? Me and another comic called Steve Hughes were sitting at home, and I kid you not, this is what happened. 2 guys came through the window, one with a hammer, one with a machete. If you look at the side of my head, I got like a scar there.
Yeah.
They cut my head, right? They tied us up and all that type of stuff. Then they drove off out of my house, and they got caught speeding in my car before we had ever made the call or whatever, right? They're now serving 12 years in prison for grievous bodily harm, aggravated burglary, attempted rape, and possession of...
Wait. You can't gloss over that. You can't just have that as part of
I
your
forgot
list.
to mention my girlfriend was in the house. And if I can't say the N word on radio, I thought I couldn't get away with getting into graphic detail.
Then
about that.
listen to us. It's like, oh, it's your girlfriend. All right, that's not interesting.
That's not interesting.
We thought you got raped.
His roommate or something.
Why attempted? Was he nervous or what?
No, because they left before and they held the knife to her throat, and the cops just want to put it. They also got him for possession of drugs, right? Which was brilliant because they were my drugs, right?
They stole your drugs.
They stole like a little bag of weed and a gram of coke that my flatmate had, right? And the cops are questioning us, and they go, "Mr. Jeffries, one last thing. Do you know anything about those drugs?" that were in the
you're going to
house?"
admit to that in a
And
second.
I went, "No, I don't know anything about them." And the cop goes, "Funny, your fingerprints were all over them." And I went, "They made me touch it."
That's the attempted rape.
That's probably how they got caught. They're like,
"What's that?" Sorry?
He knew, but he just let it go.
Yeah. The cops were laughing about it afterwards, right? And these 2 blokes got 12 years, man. That's a long sentence. And the thing is, when they broke into our house, they thought we were drug dealers. Me and me other mate, the other comic. They thought we were drug dealers because, well, I have the lifestyle of a drug dealer. I never seem to go to work. I drive a nice car. If someone knocks on the door at 3 PM, I'll answer in my underwear, eating a bowl of cereal.
That's drug
you know
dealer.
what I mean? That's drug dealer behaviour, right?
Or comedian. One or the other,
comedian. And they just assume, and they came in. And when they were tying me up, I thought they were going to tie everyone else up in the house, right? So I acted like they were doing it a bit tight on my wrist so that when everyone else was tied up, I could break free and do some of my ninja moves, right? But that turned out they only tied me up and kept me hostage.
You know, when they got pulled over, that's probably how they got caught was the drugs, because they got pulled over and it's just speeding. It's just, okay, and then we're going to search the car. Oh, there's drugs here. Those aren't mine. Whose are they? They belong to the guy who I just tied up and tried to rape his girlfriend. Oops.
Yeah, they went for a big high-speed chase. There's at one stage during the break. I can speak about this now. The court case over. Right. One stage during the case. Right. I'm on the ground tied up, and my head's been cut, and my other flatmate's laying on the ground. My girlfriend's laying under the duvet in the bed. The nicer one out of the 2 blokes, right, good guy, right, he walks over to, like, the chest of drawers, and I've got, like, pictures of my nephews and nieces, and he picks up one of the pictures, he goes, either you guys got kids, right, and my best mate, he doesn't have a kid, goes, 5-year-old boy, and I thought, I'm laying on the ground bleeding, they're going to kill me now, I'm the one they're going to kill.
Yeah, because he's got kids.
No, it's my kid.
Yeah, so I went, 4-year-old girl, and then we try to trump each other, right? And I swear to God,
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, my mate goes, my one's retarded.
No way.
I kid you not. I kid you not.
And the guys with the machete going,
Why'd he cut your head? How did that happen?
What happened was, I've also got a scar on top of my finger. And there was one guy who was really sadistic with a machete. It was like a sugarcane cutting one, like a big curved sort of 2 foot 2 inch thing. And they tied me up head to feet. And then my mate sort of made a bit of a sort of a lunge at him, trying to fucking trying to fix. My mate made a bit of a lunge at him, trying to fix all the problem and all that type of stuff. So the guy said, "Don't do that again," and sliced the side of my head, right? And then blood was pumping out of my head just into like a puddle in front of me, and I'm tied up. And you think you'd be really nervous, but under that much pressure, the human brain just leaves. Like literally, my head was just going, da, 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 right? I was like, nothing had happened at all. My girlfriend's crying under the thing, and then he tied me up with the power cord from my girlfriend's hair straighteners. And then when they cut me free, she didn't cry when they said they were going to rape her, right? But when she saw that power cord was cut, she was upset. She was like, "You can only get this brand in America." I had to order away for these. I swear to God, this story's true. I'm not making this up.
So how they said they were going to rape her and they just left?
They were doing it more to taunt us why they were in the house. I don't think they ever really were, but the cops just wanted to slap as much on them.
Wow.
They should. Good. Good. A machete. Good.
So you need guns in. You need guns in your house.
Yeah.
Ant's a big fan of
the
guns.
The thing is, the first thing I knew, I'm sitting in my living room chair, and then the guy comes through the window on the second story. And
no alarm?
No, well, the second story was open. We were in the house.
No alarm?
Yeah, but you don't have an alarm on while you're walking through your house.
Of course you do.
Oh, well, I didn't.
No guns?
Right, no guns.
Everywhere?
No. So the guy put the machete. I was just sitting around in my underwear. He's there with the knife to my throat going, "Get me your car keys, get me your car keys." And I'm like, "Look, man, every morning it takes me a little while to find them. Like, you know, when there's a machete to my throat. Let me rummage for a moment."
Yeah,
my grandparents lived in Mexico City, the dirty country that I'm from, and my grandfather, when he was like 94, he was pretty deaf, pretty much totally deaf, and he had this big backed chair that he sat in that had its back to the front door of their house. And one day, these guys, banditos broke into the house with guns. And my grandmother, who was just the toughest woman, she just screamed, "Don't move!" at the guys with guns. And like she said, she tried to look calm and said, "My husband is deaf and he's 95. If he sees you, he's going to have a heart attack and die. And this is going to be murder. Stay where you are. And I'll get you whatever you're asking for." Like, she made the guy stay behind him.
Like it's trick or treat.
Yes, exactly.
Wait here at the door, I'll go get you.
Wait at the door, I'll get whatever you need, but do not let him see you because he'll die. And then you're going to be murderers. And these guys were just confused, and they said, "Okay." And so they're like, "Well, let's see some jewelry." So she went up and chose some crap and brought it down to them and stuff. And my uncle was there, too. And so they said, we want his car. They had guns. They're like, "We're going to kill you." "Yeah, but stay behind him, please." "Oh, okay, we will." And they gave him, they got him jewelry, and they wanted a car, so my uncle gave him the keys to his car, and they went outside and couldn't start it, so he had to come out and help them. He had to jump start their car.
Oh, God, what, Mexicans?
Oh, is that? Okay.
Yes.
We really have to take another break.
Yeah.
We're real late. Jim Jeffries, the English bloke.
Yes.
Australian
expat.
Oh, Australian.
Yeah,
we don't know here in America.
I'm not a nice
Sounds
guy.
kind
Let's call me English.
He's at Caroline's tonight and Sunday.
Yes.
212-757-4100, and of course the great Louis C.K. Saturday night at the old Westbury Music Fair, which is now called the North Fork something. I think Ticketmaster.com.
Yes, Westbury. And
how about we give away some
Island.
tickets to your show now?
Let's give away.
We'll give some tickets away to 3 random callers right now. 877-212-ONA.
Oh, sorry. Louis was asking before where I'm going to be January 18th and 19th.
That's right.
Luke,
I was wondering about those dates.
Borgata tickets are on sale now. It'll probably be sold out by the middle of next week. So www.theborgata.com.
All right. Opie and Anthony. CK in studio, playing Long Island somewhere in the round.
Westbury.
That's all we got out of him today.
The Westbury Music Fair.
Westbury, North Fork, something, Saturday the 17th.
I think it's just the North Fork Theater.
My tour continues. I was only going to go until November, but there's a writer's strike. I got no job. No, I'm going to be on tour all the MySpace.com.
Hey, what do you think of that writer's strike, by the way?
It's great. No, it's not. I mean,
fantastic.
Yeah, no, the
I'm
thing.
loving it.
I mean, it's we should be on strike, but people that are into it are losing the point. Like,
really?
When the president of this guild announced we're striking, a bunch of people cheered.
You're
A
not
strike
supposed
is
to do
never
that.
a good thing. It's
No.
always bad. But people that are unemployed love strikes because then they get to do something instead of staying home.
Oh, so there's some writers that weren't writing anyway.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, something to do.
Hey.
And I can also schmooze with the actually working writers on the picket
They're
line.
networking.
But here's the thing. To me, well, you don't want to hear about the strike, do you? It's so boring.
Well, you're just trying to make it interesting for like the
here's what I would say
for
to
the masses out there.
People
That's all
that
I'm
are
asking,
telling you
Louis.
like these writers need something and it's not fair. That's not the point. It's just economics. Where no corporation is going to give you something because they should.
Right.
They're going to give you something because you make them. So we're trying to make them give us what we think we can get because most people can't write. I mean, even when you watch a bad TV show, the writer had to be really good just to accomplish that awful TV show. So it's something that not everybody can do. So we're using that leverage to try to get more money, because we haven't had a raise in a while in certain areas. So, but people that get too into it, when you break up with your girlfriend and start calling her a C word all over town, it's hard to get back together with her. So, I think people have to be kind of cool.
You got to be
it.
a little careful, right?
There could be some leftover animosity.
Yeah.
This is hitting the wire today. Family Feud afoot for Fox Cartoon. Listen to this. Fox is producing fresh episodes of the animated comedy Family Guy without the participation of its striking creator, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
What?
Who does pretty much all of the voices on the
all the
show.
voices, and
Not
he
all,
writes
but...
it.
And he also,
and he writes it.
if there's anybody who's like the single power behind a show, because he kept it going when it was dead.
God.
Like, that's a show that got killed, and he crusaded and made it happen. Yeah, that's crazy.
How are they going to do that?
So what, are they just fired him, or is this because of the writers' strike that he's not going to be there?
Yeah, I guess until the
They're
strike's
making,
over.
the most shows when the writer, because of the strike, they can't make shows, but they're going to continue making Family
Wouldn't he
Guy.
own the rights to it in some way? I don't understand.
Well, no, they can. They own it.
Fox and here's the explanation. Fox and sibling studio 20th Century Fox TV had the choice of going into reruns or continuing the show without MacFarlane, whose outspoken defiance of his employers have made him a cause célèbre for striking writers. After a large writers' rally outside the Fox lot on Friday, where he was one of the speakers, MacFarlane said the studio could proceed without him, though he hoped it would not. And they have decided to do Family Guy without Seth.
Yeah, they're doing it because there's no way they're doing this for any reason other than that he spoke at the rally and that he was considered a great speaker and he's a really active guild member. So they're just targeting him because they're just
these
they're
episodes
just showing off. They're scumbags.
They
of course
could do
they are,
episodes
but
that don't
do
involve
that.
his voices, so it would just be like the daughter, the son, and the mum.
Yeah.
And the greasy deaf guy.
Well,
They'll just get what's his name that did Daffy Duck's voice.
I hate to...
He'll be fine.
Mel Brooks. No, Mel Blanc.
No blank. He'll
Blank's
do all the
son.
voice.
Go get fake Fred or something.
Yeah.
I always hated that, the fake Fred, when it was like, hey, Barney, what do you say we go to work, Bon?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, that's not
What happened
Fred.
to the real
No.
Fred?
As a kid, it was horrified
Yes, me too.
when
They get rid
when
of
he
Fred
died.
Flintstone and get another one.
Oh, he died.
He died,
Not Fred.
so, that didn't stop them.
He
They
was,
just found a new
as,
Fred
he was
voice.
as fat as his cartoon
Oh, yeah,
character.
drinking and smoking the Winston cigarettes that Fred and Barney used to shill
Yes.
as cartoon characters.
Yes, I remember.
Hey, Winston cigarettes, Fred.
Pretty good.
Yeah, sitting back behind there. Sure is, Bon.
And the cigarettes are always the size of their whole bodies for some reason.
Yeah.
Because cigarettes for
Giant
cartoon
pack.
are so tiny that it looks weird, so they had giant cigarettes or something. I don't
Well,
know.
that's a good idea. That's probably why. It's a good point. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Louis is great at explaining things.
Yeah.
He really is. Like, I would wonder why would they be small. And
Well,
he
if you
made a good
drew
point.
Fred Flintstone and put a cigarette in his hand, it's like a tiny little line.
Like a
Yeah,
pebble.
you'll
Little
never
white
even
line.
see it.
So somebody just said, make those bigger.
Depends
How
how-
big?
How
Like
do you
this
remember
big.
that, by the way?
But sir, that's the size of his whole body.
But how do you remember that?
Make
Now
the
we're,
cigarettes bigger, idiot.
now we're looking at it on YouTube, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah, the cigarettes are
It's a-
insanely long.
They almost look like
they're-
cigars.
Yeah, like they're villains with
Yeah,
long
yeah.
cigarettes. yeah, like the penguin.
Hey, and other...
We don't know how
Look at
small.
that thing. It's
We don't know how
It's
small
giant.
they were. They were cavemen. Cavemen
thing, cavemen
weren't
were
as big
tiny.
as people are now. Through evolution, we've
That's
grown
right.
taller. Maybe
right.
in proportion, they are normal-sized cigarettes.
That's true.
And Barney was like 3'2".
Yeah,
That's right.
Jim, but that's true.
But the Winston
Who was
Company-
doing the packaging?
That's right. And R.J. Reynolds has been around that long, and they remember.
Yeah, the caveman days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah.
The other thing about the writer's strike, really fast, Ellen was supposed to do shows in New York.
Yeah.
Because she crossed the
Yeah,
line.
and she's not doing it now.
And now she's not. She's staying in L.A.
Oh,
Why do you
really?
think that is? Because she knows the reception. She get us.
Oh, they already said they're going
People
to
are
protest
so mad at her.
outside where she's doing her
And I
shows.
don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because I think part of it is, again, you can't really say F the companies because you're going to need to work with them again. So they just found somebody that's it's her. Because she's not. She has nothing to. She's not. We're not negotiating with her. She's not keeping our residuals back.
Is she wrong,
She just
though?
reported to work.
Or
That's
is
all
she-
she did. Reported to a job that she wasn't on strike for.
Is she wrong to do it, or is she as a producer?
It's complicated because Jay Leno is being a hero because his show is run by writers. Her show is up against shows that don't have writers. So, like, Jay goes off the air, so does Dave. Everybody's happy, and same with Jimmy Kimmel. But the shows that she's up against, Oprah, all those other shows, they don't have writers, so they can stay on the air. And her show is writer-driven, and also because it's syndicated. But, she kind of should not be working.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because when she complains about this is what would happen to my show, yeah, well, that's what everybody's risk is. Jay Leno's whole staff is getting fired.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing their jobs because of this. It's sacrifice.
Wait, they're getting fired?
But I don't think it's as simple as that. The thing is that Ellen is not a popular person. She's kind of a rotten, smelly, awful,
She sucked when I met her.
Is she not a nice lady?
Idiot. She's. I wish we were on XM so I could describe her completely.
Of course,
but I can't.
Wait, what have you heard?
The FCC would not let her be accurately described.
This is interesting.
It would be like if a cop said who shot you and it was her, I'd be like, you got to take me off the air because I can't tell you.
Jimmy met her in Vegas, so this is really interesting because he got the big blow off.
She was doing something for XM, and we were out there for XM. So I was like, I'll walk up, and she was being filmed. I'm like, hey, I get my pictures with everybody. It's just what I do.
You didn't get a picture with me. I've met you twice now.
Yeah, but I'm too nervous to ask.
Okay.
So I walked up to Ellen, and I'm like, hey, I'm a comic. I'm also doing something with XM. I just wanted to get a quick picture. She's like, oh no, I can't. I'm in the middle of shooting, but she wasn't, and I wanted to spit in her face.
Yeah, she's really
I gave her a good trashing, if that's any consolation.
Good for
She's-
you.
I know people that work for her as writers, and she's dope and mean to people.
Oh,
and
easy,
stuff
Lou,
like
on the
that.
language.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's a spoil sport.
She's a real ninny.
She's a right rotter, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a right rotter.
Yeah, she's a.
Yes, most definitely.
They went to commercial, I was reading recently, and she yelled at her writers, why did you write that for me?
Yeah, she's really got gallons of.
Yeah, that had made the press last week, I believe.
Was she a good stand-up in a day?
Yes, I think she was.
Is that okay to say?
She was a good
Yes.
stand-up. Okay.
She was fine. She was all right. I know she never made me laugh really, but because she's got that way about her.
Being a leather.
Well, no, not that one. Yeah, I don't. Who cares about that? But the fact that she has this sort of MO means that people pile it on.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at her working. She shouldn't be working. And whatever, that story. You know what? I've had a show where I had writers, and often I'd look at them and say, you guys stink, and I hate you. So the stories about how tough she is on the writers, that I take with a grain of salt because
Well, I guess this was.
there's a natural, you got to crack the whip, and also there's a natural thing where the person who's on camera is taking the hits for bad jokes.
But would you do it in front of a
True,
live
yeah.
audience?
What's that?
Would you do it in front of a live audience?
Oh, no,
I
never.
think that's what the story was
really?
about. Yeah, she did a joke and it sucked, and she goes, why would you write that for me? And she was dead serious
Wow, I don't know.
while they were in break.
Yeah, no, she sucks.
You had good writers on Lucky Louie, man.
Every one of them.
They were funny, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you call lesbians in Australia?
Stiff tongues.
Do you
Stiff
really?
tongues.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stiff tongues. It's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they always have? Are their tongues
do we
always
get in
stiff?
trouble there? Do we?
Yeah, don't say it 8,000 times until we see if it went through.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
What are you shaking your head? Oh,
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah, you
Good.
just can't describe, but just say
Yeah,
stiff
yeah.
tongues.
That's
That's
just a name.
Yeah, not all Australians do that. Just me and my brother, really, but we're both Australians.
It's plural. It makes it plural. Two guys.
All right, we're just about wrapping up here. Once again, here's the sound you're listening for tomorrow if you want to win $1,000, courtesy of the Opie and Anthony Show. Between 7 and 7:30, we'll play this.
Hi, I'm Kenny, and I love the taffy.
There you go. That'll be your cue to call to win the
What's the
$1,000.
And then
taff-
punch him.
What's the taffy?
It's just a dumb thing that
There was
happened.
some guy that called up, and he stunk. His phone call stunk.
He lost he lost a couple teeth because he was chewing on the taffy. And we're like,
Oh,
why would you
taffy's
do
like
that if you
taffy
knew your
with him.
teeth were a little loose? So he needs the money to get his teeth fixed.
I had one of those great lame moments yesterday where I tried to explain someone the sausage phone call.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't really tell it right. I was just an idiot. I was just going, well, he had a 16-ounce sausage, and now he's only got a 12-ounce sausage, and he can't feed his family. And people are like, that's not funny. And I'm going, was. Definitely was.
we were laughing about it. I don't know.
His voice bothers me. This guy's. There's something, by the way, he goes, the sausage, the package.
Yeah.
His voice goes
Yeah.
like a knife. in my chest.
This is what Jim Jeffries is talking about. Let's try to squeeze it in from yesterday.
Hello, 12-ounce guy.
Oh, this is the guy calling Jimmy Dean because he's really pissed off about the 16-ounce sausage going down to a 12-ounce sausage.
For the same price.
Same price, and he's leaving this on hold.
Little 12-ounce goddamn.
Well, at this
sausage.
point, sorry, it really needs a little more setup. He's waiting to leave his message, and he's talking to his family.
Little 12-ounce goddamn roll of sausage supposed to feed your brother and me and you 600 pounds of men, at least. You get my point? And the two girls, and they put it in that pussy roll of sausage. Son of a bitch. Somebody needs their ass kicked. Some little consumer geekaroid. Save money, yeah, save money, save money. I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
That's amazing.
And meanwhile,
the next bit's better.
No, it gets better because
That's amazing.
Meanwhile, that's what he wants to do. He said, "Save money, save money." He doesn't want to buy two 12-ounce.
He really so there's
Yeah.
some advertising that says this will feed a whole family, and he says him and his fat family,
His whole fat
feel
family.
taken.
Yeah.
Feel
They
taken.
used to buy 16-ounce, and now the company have dropped it back to 12-ounce, and
Yeah.
he's outraged.
He's just outraged.
we got to speed along because they're going to
Yeah.
knock us off the air. So now it's time to leave the message.
Yeah.
Randy Taylor. I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your products. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that? It ain't going to work. And I'm not going to purchase your product anymore or ever again.
Ever again.
I love this guy.
Oh my God!
12-ounce sausage.
But it's the way he says the G at the end. Sausage.
Sausage.
People who do that, that sound drives me
Sausage.
nuts.
Yeah.
Sausage.
I love that man.
A couple of dozen eggs and a side of beef and an entire
How am I
pig.
supposed to feed the family? On
She's a little plump.
Just an open spigot of milkshake, and that's a 12-ounce sausage.
Here's part 2 of the message.
Angry.
And as far as your 16-ounce and maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man. Jimmy Dean sausage is for Southern people to eat with their breakfast, with their fried eggs and their T-bone steaks. And I can't see going to a little 12-ounce package to feed 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. I'd sure like a reply, and I'd sure like you to go back to your 16-ounce package on your regular sausage, because I'm not going to buy it otherwise ever again. I'll just have my own damn sausage made like I used to 30-something years ago. It's not as tasty as yours is, but it'll work. Goodbye.
It'll work keeping us
How am I
fat.
supposed to feed my kids?
Maple
with
sage.
12-ounce sausage and the world of food.
That gets better and better the
Every
more
bit
you
of
hear
it.
it.
That guy rules.
He does rule.
Oh,
I
God
love it how
damn
he's angry, but he keeps complimenting.
Yeah.
Right
know.
to the bitter end.
You got your 16-ounce maple sage, but that's for the north.
North.
That's
I'm a
for the
Texas
north.
man.
I'm Texas man.
That's for men who bed other men.
Yeah.
We lay down with a woman. We don't like maple or sage.
The thing I like picturing him with his reading glasses, reading the number off the package while he's dialing it. Literally thick glasses. Let me see right here what that number is.
Yeah.
Customer service for the
Let's see
Jimmy
now.
Dean sausage.
We're getting requests for that to be put up on ONARadio.com.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing I've
Can we
ever
do
heard.
that?
That's fantastic.
All right, we'll put that up on ONARadio.com. We're
It's going to be my phone ring.
we're out of here. Yeah, Jim
Jeffries tonight and Sunday.
Caroline's.
Caroline's,
Yes.
212-757-4100. Sweet Louis C.K. Saturday night, the North Fork, whatever it is.
North
It's the
Fork.
Old Westbury Music Fair in Long Island.
That's
go
right.
to Ticketmaster.
Or LouisCK.com for information.
Yes, and for me, go to my MySpace for information on my Bogado show in January.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
And by the way, no XM show today,
Yes,
and the
we're
reason
clear.
is there's a master computer that is completely shut down. So
ENIAC.
no live XM show today, but they'll play some fine older stuff, I guess. And then the chatter begins, but that is the God's honest truth. They're having a major issue with equipment over there today. So we'll see everybody tomorrow live starting at 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Thanks, guys.